Hello? Haro? Hibachi Benihana Teriyaki.
Nagasaki, Okinawa, Hokkaido, Yokohama.
Karate Judo Sumo Samurai.
Nissan, Honda, Mitsubishi, Subaru.
Harikari Tsunami. Kamikaze Banzai.
Yamaha, Nikon, Casio, Aiwa. Hitachi, Seiko, Toshiba.
Kimono.
Tempura, Sushi.
Sashimi!
Fujitsu! Ching Chong. Hey, Garrett, what's a Wolverine?
He's a Wolverine.
you misspelled Wolverine in the title.
It's stupid. I'm
It's
very
a different
dumb.
universe as Wolverine. That's all.
I'm a very dumb person. I'm sorry. I
That's
don't have
okay. So am I, dude. The only reason I caught it was because there was a big red line. I wouldn't have seen it otherwise.
highly organized. Okay.
Highly organized. Welcome to Friday Night Times, everybody. Live from Wales, Vagina, California, my hometown. Here for Comic-Con. I'm completely skipping it today, and damn, I missed the Rings of Power Season 2 trailer. Good thing it's online like the same time it's in Hall H, and I don't have to go into Hall H. It's the reason you don't go. Speaking of huge Rings of Power fans, Lincoln fan, and a huge fan of Marvel Phase 4, Raz0rfist is here.
Yeah.
Broadcasting live from Harvey Weinstein's casting couch, I think.
Oh, there you go. At least he's got good taste in books in the back there. There you go.
Where's Leslie?
What's up? Hey, so we don't do introductions anymore. So just say hi, everybody.
Hi,
everybody.
Thank you. But we do what's up, Chrissy? How you doing?
Hello.
Just realized she was here.
I just realized she was here. That's record time.
Knowledge. Seen and not heard.
Yes. And we are here. We're going to discuss Razor. You watched Deadpool and Wolverine?
Did you just did you just die, Gary? You were gonna say Deadpool versus Wolverine.
I did. I was like, was that the title? I can't even remember what the title is. Deadpool and Wolverine.
Man. Come on.
Yeah. Does it matter? It was Deadpool
What are you, the
versus
president?
Wolverine.
Mitch McConnell moment.
So I saw. Did you actually watch it?
I did.
Good man. Thank you.
Even though the sacrifices I make for my art, Van Wilder gives me gas. So this was a hit.
There we go. Well, we will discuss it. And everybody here watched it. Yes.
Yep. Yes.
Good boys and girls.
Somehow, yes.
That's right. Wait till you hear my next assignment. We'll talk about that later. We discussed it a little bit before the show.
Well, does it involve like a rooftop at a rally in Pennsylvania? Or
Yeah, slightly sloped.
slightly
Slightly sloped roof.
like X-ray girl?
That's what we call X-ray girl.
Find a Trump rally, then have to do the next assignment Gary has for us. So.
That's right. That's right. So yes, we're going to discuss Deadpool and Wolverine. We all watched it. I've watched it twice now, thanks to the internet. And we're also going to discuss the Rings of Power trailer that came out and Gina's victory over Disney. That's what we're going to talk about. But we're on road protocol, so I don't think we're going 5 hours today. I'm just saying that right now. We're not. I can't because I have to make a video.
I hate it when you call it Road Protocol because I always mix up the titles of Mission Impossible 4 and 5. Road Protocol and Road Nation. And whenever you call it Road Protocol, it just makes me fucking doubt myself even more.
What has worse titles, the Mission Impossible series or the Xbox?
No, Mission Impossibles are perfectly
Fast and
fine up
Furious.
until Mission Impossible 7 Dead Reckoning Part 1. Like
Part 1.
Fine up until
It's Mission Impossible EX plus Alpha.
Transformers, Fast and Furious, all these titles are so convoluted and dumb.
Yeah,
new
I
Rebel
know.
Moon
I need
ones.
numbers, man. Give me numbers.
Nothing is worse than the Xbox though, and their titles. My
Dude,
God,
what the hell?
Yeah.
they might as well just come up with the Xbox U at this point. Just gonna.
What was the series in reference to? A series of flops in a row, apparently. I don't know.
Like if people are asking me like, which Xbox do you have? I'm like, the square one, because I don't know what they're called. I don't know what any of them are called anymore.
Right?
Yeah, the Xbox One X, the Xbox Series X, the Xbox Series S, the Xbox Series. Fuck. Just call it the
It's
Xbox.
like Street Fighter titles after a certain point.
I know it. PlayStation has it down pat. Magically, the one that came after the one that came after 3 was 4. Amazing.
Oh
Amazing.
my God.
I know.
What's the next one going to be, you think?
I'm rumored to be 6.
Oh,
Rumored to
that's
be
bold.
6.
We'll see. I'll believe it when I see it.
Yeah.
Excellent. Hey, this will be a
Gary has no
great-
idea what I'm talking about.
He's like, I have a
Video game.
PlayStation.
It's so uncomfortable.
I'm a PC gamer,
Sounded
dude. I'm a PC gamer. All right.
When you eventually plug it
PC white supremacy. Is that how it goes? Yeah. Is that what it's supposed to be?
in. Is according to
Like, when
Kotaku.
are we going to talk about the crosswords?
Yeah. Crosswords. Shit. Cave
was out
paintings,
milking
bro.
Bessie
Okay.
earlier.
Gary
hey, this
pulled
is
a Mick Foley. He just went for a cheap pop so he could get a PC Master Race in the chat and be like, yeah, Gary.
I'll take it where I can get
Coming
it.
to you live from
I love
San Diego.
Yeah.
Yes. I love anime and PC gaming. Hey, this is a great time for an ad read, right? Because that's another thing that's one of Raz0rfist's favorite is ad reads during at least it's a live stream.
Gary's the best.
We
I
can
know
never
I
prepare.
did.
you?
I'm
No
as
idea
good
they
at
were
ad
going
reading
to an ad read.
as I am. They said within 10 minutes. I said, fine, that's good. I'm cool with that. Whatever they
Basically,
want.
Ben Shapiro over here.
Did you see what I did for my ad read today? I accidentally
No.
played because I had it on the StreamYards where Ryan's ad read when he did it 2 weeks ago, but I accidentally hit Black Girl Magic before I hit Ryan's ad
We can
read.
do that.
So yeah, we had Black Girl Magic lead us in on it, so that was pretty good.
Can we do that? God, we've got so many clips.
You ever read
Look
on
out.
that piece of paper?
Look how big the letters are on that paper, Gary. That's all
That's my wife's writing. She knows. She knows.
Biden's prompter.
We're going to talk about the Wellness Company's medical emergency kit, ladies and gentlemen. You don't want to be unprepared.
No, you don't.
The Wuhan flu is going around. What's the Kung flu? Whatever you want to call it. I guess we can call it this stuff now. Is it totally safe? Well, we'll find out.
I had a really bad cold in the past couple of weeks.
Yeah, this really bad cold is going around, but you don't want to like have it ruin your vacation or an RNC or a Comic-Con or something like that.
Or
so you want to be
presidency,
prepared. or a presidency. We can point that out.
You too could be president and catch COVID and lose your job.
You know, if Biden had his wellness kit, he'd still be president. Okay.
It was a bad night, Gary.
Be self-sufficient and prepared. Unlike Biden, with the wellness company's medical emergency kit. You won't find anything like this in stores. Every American household should have at least one. And I actually bought one. I did because we can now. We can talk about ivermectin. Is it mectum? Ivermectin. Ivermectin.
That's close.
Iverrectum.
Iverrectum. Yep.
Iverrectum.
I have a rectum.
That's a different thing. That's for monkeypox. Okay.
I like how you're reading this like a Trump speech too.
Can you just fucking read this? My God.
No. Every American household should have at least one. We are getting the wellness kit the wellness company travel kit for our Peru trip. Yes, we are. We are actually doing that. Hell yeah. Right before my wife trips on ayahuasca. Save money and time and stress. Get prepared. Viewers can visit twc.health and use the code Nerdrotic. I remembered this time to save $30 free shipping. Link in the chat.
Every American should have one. Yes.
You did good, Gary. You did good. You
Thank
read
you.
all the ad reads. You
I
answered
did.
all the questions, Joe.
Blackout magic.
You answered all the questions.
It was perfect timing. The pizza came to my door that I ordered a little bit ago because I literally just walked back in the house. I've been gone for 2 weeks. Walk in 20 minutes before the show. Come on, StreamYards. Order pizza. Just gets here. I open my fucking fridge to get a Mountain Dew Zero, and one of them fucking exploded in my fridge while I was gone. Now it's just a mess in there. So now
Maybe,
how?
Ryan, maybe it was God trying to save your sperm count.
I ain't got any problem there. You can't take some away and I'd be
testicular
perfectly happy.
generation,
Less scares.
How the hell did it explode?
Yeah, how does that happen?
My fridge is just like a little bit too cold, but it's like it's not enough for me to fucking actually worry about fixing. I never had to worry about it until now. But with 2 weeks of leaving something in there, apparently that's long enough for it to actually freeze.
So that's basically Ryan's smoke detector chirp.
No, I was going to say it's a bit like his heart, a little bit too cold, but not enough for him to bother to fix it.
Pretty much.
And it'll eventually explode.
On pizza and Mountain Dew.
There we go. I guess we'll start with the big movie that's already made $100 million over the weekend.
Woo.
Yep. I had to go to a different cinema because the screening I was going to was literally full. There was only the front row free.
Yep, ours was packed.
Wow, yeah.
Ours was packed, but they added a bunch of.
Mine
I
was
heard
not.
yours wasn't.
It was like 3/4 as full as for Horizon on opening day.
Holy crap!
Wow. Yeah.
That
was the
before.
show.
Well, that's because the people who went to Horizon are all like old boomers who are like already retired and shit. They can go in the middle of on a Thursday. Who cares? You know what I mean?
I guess. Yeah. I have no idea because it was right in prime time. It was at 8 p.m. Right. So it's like not too early, not too late. Yeah, it was like perfect. And like the whole front was open. Most of the area that I was in was open, and there was tons of space between everybody. It was bizarre. Like I had never been to a Marvel. Actually, that's not true. I went to Iron Man on opening day, but that's the only Marvel movie I ever went to on opening day. And that one was packed to the rafters. Like it was standing room only almost. But so I didn't really know what to expect from a Marvel opening day. Not so much.
Yeah.
It was, like I said, nowhere near as full as Horizon.
Yeah, the way they do their releases now has definitely changed that game because it used to be like those midnights were always packed because it was midnight. Maybe they'd open one later on because they had
you have like
extra
2
people.
shows.
But when you're opening at like 4 p.m., 7 p.m., they space it out so much now that it's like depending on what market you're in, you could be in the big, really, really full screen or you could be in the really empty screen.
Yeah, I hit a 3 p.m. screening and mine was actually pretty full. I would say it was probably about 75% full for 3 p.m. on a Thursday. That's pretty good.
That's not bad for an afternoon.
Yeah, I was at 4 p.m. on a Thursday. It was about 85-90% full in mine. It was in the LIMAX.
Ours was sold out. Our IMAX was sold out at 6.
I was just
Was
at
it
the
an
There was lines
IMAX?
out the freaking building.
Was it a real IMAX or a LIMAX?
Limax.
Yeah. Which I actually prefer Limax over IMAX anyway. Like, because when they have the 70mm screen, it kind of like, the frame, how it cuts it off. So the digital IMAX is fine with me. But I hated 3D. I had to deal with 3D. And
we had to do 3D too.
God, what year is it? 3D?
I know.
When they handed me glasses,
that's
I'm
all
like,
it is.
what
It's Disney.
Fuck? I'm like,
And
we're
then
still
you went
doing
back
this?
home to watch it on your plasma TV.
Yeah.
It's really annoying when I walked in there. I was like, God, we got to do the 3D crap. But overall, like I said, I did my video on it, and I did not watch one trailer. I didn't see any TV spots. I saw nothing from this movie. I went in completely blind, and I think that was a very good thing for me because I was pleasantly surprised. I thought the movie, like I said, was a mess narratively, but it's a Deadpool movie, so I know nobody's expecting it to be the tightest script or anything like that. But it's Hugh Jackman and it's Wolverine, and their chemistry carries it. And I enjoyed the hell out of it from that perspective. No, it's not saving the MCU at all.
And this it's kind of burying it a little bit.
I felt like this probably did more damage to the MCU just because it's mocking it so much and it has no impact.
Which could save it in the end. You got to make fun of it. It's good that they made fun of it.
That was the good bit of it. The fact that it was able to tell Marvel things that people in Marvel have probably been denying for a long time. And it's like the jester in the To the King. He's the only one that could actually say it that they might actually listen to.
Yeah, that's absolutely what this movie was. They made fun of multiverses. They made fun of the low point that Phase 4 is. They made fun of all of it. It was really good to finally see that acknowledged.
How much like Hugh Jackman cost? Like,
yeah. How much Chris Evans cost? He was like, what he's doing to our budget.
Chris Evans.
One thing that threw me off was. I haven't seen Deadpool 1 or 2 in a long time.
Right.
Is it just specifically gay jokes now from Deadpool? Does he not make any references towards women at all anymore?
One than previous
ones.
Like gay jokes and surprise character shows up and then Deadpool shouts "fuck."
Yeah.
Kind of. It's like 20 times they do that.
No references to hot women or anything like that.
There's been like a million gay jokes in Deadpool movies, but I feel like considering this is a buddy movie with Wolverine the entire time, there's probably why there was a plethora of it. That's my assumption.
Hey, listen, I'm okay with gay jokes. Clearly, that's all we do on a Geeks and Gamers stream is make gay jokes. But there's like no reference to hot women.
It's great because gay people are hilarious, right? Because they're so weird and shit. So you make fun of them. That's why it's funny.
I'd say one thing is it's not a PC film. That's
I think they picked the movie's soundtrack actually.
Oh my god, dude! That was my one thing when I came out. I was like, the first thing I thought of was too many needle drops. It was like a jukebox, just like over and over and over, back to back, no breathing room, just songs.
Yeah, right.
They played that Madonna song like 5 times.
Yeah, they
seriously,
they really milked that.
Yeah, like pop songs over slow-mo CGI fight scene, like Madonna, NSYNC. By the end of this movie, they were running out of pop tunes primarily appreciated by homosexuals. I felt.
Can you put up the spoiler paddle? Somebody who's producing the show.
Yeah, because we already dropped one.
Yeah, Garrett. That's what I'm gonna ask.
That's all right. Garrett dropped spoilers? One. This is Friday Night Tights. Yes.
Like Gore, we say.
I think we can start. I think we could start with overall thoughts, except for Garrett, and then. But that's all right. Garrett. The spoilers thing is up right now, so I'm safe to say. Garrett spoiled Henry Cavill like months ago.
So, my bad, guys.
But I think we can give overall thoughts.
In the movie until the credits rolled up. He's like, "Oh, Henry Cavill was in the movie. Who was he?" I'm like, "What?"
Oh yeah, I should mention hating after credits sequences is sort of my religion, so I didn't stay for the cameoception or whatever that happened after the credits. I have no idea what happened.
We'll tell you during the spoiler section.
Yeah. Go ahead.
We'll tell you. It wasn't anything setting anything up at all.
Yeah,
it was kind of.
It was just. I don't know if it was a gag. It was a payoff. I feel like it was a payoff of something that happened in the movie.
Yeah, but it's still a little bit.
Yeah.
Payoff to a gag that happened in a movie filled with gags.
It doesn't continue the MCU or set up for the next film.
No, not at all.
You could take the spoiler.
Listen. Oh, go ahead.
No, this movie is a comedy. Okay, so it's not trying to be earnest. So Mahler and I were discussing this on Real BBC. Like we saw the serious trailer, and Mahler was like, "Hey, I hope there's more heart in this." because that's what it kind of needs to be, to make it a full film. And then we mentioned like maybe we just saw all the heart moments in that trailer, and you did. That's pretty much it.
Pretty much, yeah.
I know Jeremy avoided all the trailers, and when we watched them, we thought, well, there's probably more to this line, and there really isn't. Like, it's I'm hovering at a 6 and 7 out of 10 for it.
It's like every time they tried to be serious, it kind of came off like on a very special episode of Family Matters.
Yes,
it's
feeling like Endgame for me a little bit. Like I liked it when I watched out. I watched it. I watched it with my nieces, and they loved it. I'm sure my son's going to love it. And this is what it's made for. I walk out of it, I'm like, that was fun. As long as I don't think about anything.
Right.
As long as I don't.
Because when you do, it falls apart. This story on a narrative level is actually pretty retarded. But it's fun. It's fun.
It is. There's a lot of stuff that's going to be dated real fucking fast, though. A year from now, I mean, the jokes in the movie are just not going to land because they're so meta to what's going on with Disney and how bad the MCU is.
That was the first year from now, it's still going to be bad, so I think it'll be relevant. Yeah. But to me, I felt pretty much
specific stuff. Like probably one of the biggest banger jokes was. He says to Hugh Jackman, "Welcome to the MCU. You're entering at a bit of a low point."
Yeah,
yeah.
Rolling
that was
laughs
good.
from the
I
whole
liked it.
theater, right? It was great, but like in 5 months, well, definitely in 5 months, but like 5 years, not so much. It's not exactly the Blazing Saddles fart scene, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Right?
No.
To me, I felt basically the same way I felt about the other two Deadpool movies. In terms of like, I don't get a ton out of the storyline, and you're really kind of just there for the fucking chaos and for Ryan Reynolds being like the quirky humor, fucking gratuitous shit, like not really edgy, but just fucking graphic jokes and everything. I felt like it's pretty much the same as those first couple movies. I think the second one's a little worse than the first one. I put this right in there, right in that arena. Yeah, like to me, overall impressions of the movie. There was some stuff that I liked, and I really liked the idea of us getting nostalgic for this like era of comic book movies from 20 years ago. For these fucking characters that we got to see. Which I won't get too into that now, but obviously people knew that was going to be a big part of this going forward because that's all they have left. The stuff like you can't get a ton of nostalgia for MCU right now because people are kind of a little bit tired of that. We're worn out of that. So they had to dig deep in their bag of tricks and go for characters that they have nothing to fucking do with at Disney. And overall, I had a good time watching it. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Going into it, it's like you expect Deadpool. Don't expect the world. It's a fun time. Like Ryan Reynolds and Hugh are great. They have great chemistry together. If you're a fan of any of the Fox movies, literally any of them, it's kind of a love letter to all of that.
Yep.
And
there's a lot of references, and if you don't know, no, there's a lot. Yeah. There's a lot of references that if you're not caught up on these movies or even the discussion online, there's things that you're going to miss or not understand.
Oh yeah, totally like the whole theater. There were multiple jokes I caught throughout the thing where I was like, "Oh, I get that because I worked in a comic store."
Yeah, exactly.
It's dead in the theater. Nobody got it.
Yes, exactly. Just there's a lot of little stuff like that. I mean, it goes all the way back to. Without spoiling, somebody was like, well, it actually goes back further than the X-Men, in 2000. Yes, I know, but I didn't want to add it goes back to this movie because that's a spoiler, to say how far back it goes. But the reference, this movie feels like the Dollar General version of No Way Home. And I feel like No Way Home had more substance in it and more that you could take away.
Oh, big time.
And I'm not saying that in a disrespectful way. I had a lot of fun with it. It doesn't hit the heights of No Way Home, and there's nothing that carries on after this movie that I think can be beneficial to the MCU at all. I don't think there's anything. I think that it's a one and done, and if anything, it does more damage to the MCU than anything. And it kind of validates that all those toxic racist fans were right. The MCU is a piece of shit, and it has been for a long time. So thanks for confirming that with Deadpool's dialogue. We really appreciate that.
Yeah, because everyone who's going and loving this movie is going to walk out of it expecting the next film to be something like this, and it's not going to be anything. It's going to be Captain Falcon. Yeah, it's like, I'm sorry, but Captain Falcon's just not going to be able to bring that same level of comedy that this film's able to bring.
Well, you got to expect it to stand alone completely.
Who's going into a parody movie expecting it to have long-term consequences on the MCU? It's the same reason if I go into a John Wick, I don't really expect a big complex plot. I just want him to beat the crap out of people. And so with this, I had fun fights. It was wacky stuff. He could basically do anything. He could make comments that you couldn't have in any other Marvel movie. They'd gone back to the traditional masculine storyline that we used to have in comic book movies, where it was basically a man struggling to save the world, or in this case, it was kind of coming up with a reason why he even wanted to. It's not really a spoiler, but there was a moment where he's like, everyone I care about is in this picture. I never cared about the world before, but they live in it. And I think that kind of message is very traditional that we just don't get now. And rather than be subverted with some kind of female hero coming in, that was actually done elsewhere in the movie, and it kind of twisted that around, and then it was kind of sacrificial to save the end. It was a very basic, yes, but traditional moral story that you just don't get. And so I do think it showed them the path forwards, and that if you stop doing all the stuff you've been doing recently and just go back to basics, you end up with a better movie.
Yeah, it's all the white men that get out of the MCU back involved. I agree.
Disparu, your audio's a little low, Disparu.
Okay.
So just letting you know, it's not too bad, but it's a tick too low.
I was kind of hoping that Deadpool would come in and just like destroy the MCU, kill it all, and reset it. But they actually played it surprisingly safe. Nothing is going to have any lasting impact. It's self-contained. It's in a bubble.
It's very self-contained.
I haven't watched a lot of the MCU movies, but apparently everything's built around Kang. Where's Kang?
We're gonna find out tomorrow. We're gonna find out tomorrow that he's been fired, and everything's gonna lead up to Secret Wars.
That would have been so funny if, like, a post-credit scene or whatever, like there was some mention of, like, they were at the TVA, they're like, what happened to that fucking Kang guy? They're like, I don't fucking know. Boom, cut to black, just done. Like something that Deadpool Wolverine did to just erase Kang from the entire timeline, and that's
he went out for cigarettes. He said he would be right back.
He went to change the smoke detector battery, and we never saw him again.
Instead of cocaine being the one thing Kevin said we can't talk about, it's Kang.
So how's the box office looking for this movie right now? How much is it looking to do opening weekend?
Oh, it's insane. It's already made $100 million. And this thing is like,
would we be able to classify this as white boy summer?
Yes, that's what I was saying. Hell yeah, it's white boy summer. Saves the box office for now.
So before the previews came in, it was being projected around 360.
Let's not hold on.
Worldwide. It's probably gonna be north of 400 by the end of this weekend.
We cannot call Ryan Reynolds a boy. Like, every time I
Blake Lively would disagree. So
every time I see Ryan Reynolds, I just think, how old is this man planning on getting while still playing a 20-something college?
He made that joke. He made that joke on Hot Ones. I was watching it, and he was like, "I'm stretching this boyish charm like way too far."
Yeah, he's like at this point he's like Rip Van Wilder. Like
you're not wrong. I mean, I like that movie Waiting with him, and that feels so like good. 20 years ago.
I think the Deadpool makeup is actually just Ryan Reynolds without the
They did. I like the joke they made at one point. It was just a skull. I think it was the skull entrance to one of the lady, the bald lady that was the bad guy where she lived. They were like, "Oh, it looks like Paul Rudd finally aged."
Yeah.
I did like. I don't know if you caught it, Ryan Reynolds, and he's totally taken the piss out of himself about wearing a rug.
Yeah.
And nobody can tell.
Everyone can tell.
So I gotta say, Hugh Jackman friggin' brought it. He knocked it out of the park. He's the perfect Wolverine still, and like what annoyed me a little bit is that there was some really intense moments where he just nails the dialogue, but there was no substance upholding it as to the reasons why, and it was kind of almost wasted in such a goofy movie. But still, he's got that gravitas, and he was just awesome in it. And seeing him in
we're not talking spoilers, right?
Not yet.
Not yet, it seems
like.
Because we can mention specifics when we do. Because
that's a good point. Like people going into it, you're thinking, okay, he did Logan. He's coming back after he said he was retiring. I'm a fan of Hugh as Wolverine. I don't want to see him come back as a bad version of Wolverine. I think he brings it. I think he gives justice to that character. He gives justice to his performance as that character. He does bring heart. He's like the only piece of heart that's in this movie, really. Right. There's a little bit from Deadpool, but it's mostly driven by Wolverine.
I would say this is probably the
Mostly
best
good about
Wolverine
Wolverine.
we've seen on screen.
You can call it hard if you want. I think
There's not if there's
I
any
think Wolverine in this movie is what scientists would call a mopey, wrist-cutting emo faggot.
alcoholic. Don't forget that part.
That too.
I really saw myself
he
in
looks
Wolverine.
so good.
Me and Shape part.
It's true. No. He is like Mr. Universe.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of Hugh Jackman's Wolverine, even with the bad movies that he's been in. He always, it's almost like nothing will ever compare to Christopher Reeve Superman, but I even like the bad Christopher Reeve Superman movies, you know, because give me Superman 3 and 4 all day long, all right, all day long, because Reeve. So yeah, like even like X-Men Origins Wolverine, I've always talked about. I don't, that I do like that movie mainly because I don't like Deadpool as a character, so shutting him the fuck up was actually a blessing for me. I was like, yeah, keep Deadpool quiet. But yeah, I mean, he was great in this movie, and he's a legend. I do wonder if Disney is actually going to ride this train until he's 90 years old.
I wonder now.
The jokes. They may just try to do that.
They're coming, dude. It's gonna happen.
I don't know.
I'd have to pay him a lot.
I don't know if there's
he'll be back.
It's
in
hard to
Secret
tell.
Wars.
It's hard to tell, but I think he will.
Yeah.
What was that, Razorfist?
I don't think there's a large enough HGH supply in the entire world. 90.
Well, there was they did say they put him in the suit because he's let himself go recently.
They
did.
They did CG his arms. They did. So
Of course. But my favorite was comic book accurate Wolverine. That was my favorite. My favorite little appearance we got.
That was good.
They should have
spoiler now.
I still say they
put
should
up
have had
spoilers.
Glenn Danzig in there because he was. Does anybody remember?
yes,
Glenn
he was the
Danzig was
fan
supposed to
casting
be Wolverine.
forever in Wizard. Yeah.
Well, listen. Now that we got spoilers up, showing Henry Cavill in that moment is ridiculous. And if we don't get Henry Cavill moving forward, it is the biggest fucking loss since Henry Cavill is Superman, I guess. You know what I mean? Like,
We can treat you better than those other guys.
Down the street.
That was I couldn't believe they did that. I mean, obviously the rumors, we'd heard the rumors for a while, but like actually doing that was freaking crazy. And he 1000% should be in that role moving forward.
Dude was
And how
fucking
crazy
huge.
is it that we get Blade, right?
Yeah.
That we get Wesley Snipes in this moment where this Blade movie is just a fucking disaster, and you even have an line in there.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
I'm the only Blade.
I'm the only Blade.
That was great.
Yes.
That's why.
Okay, I retardedly clapped for that moment. That was the only
me
moment
too.
that got me. He came out of, and I was like, "Oh my hell yes!" And he looked good. He looked fucking good.
Oh, yeah, they call him
He's still
Wesley
got it.
Snipes because he snipes at the new Blade movie, and unlike the
Right.
Trump sniper, he doesn't miss.
I'm still mad that Wesley Snipes went to prison for tax evasion. This man should have got a lifetime pass.
Yep.
All right.
Yes.
Passenger 57, Blade. I know he did
He was
Tu
always
Wong
right.
Fu. I know he did Tu Wong Fu, and maybe he should have went to jail for Tu Wong Fu.
Demolition
But
Man.
outside of that,
Simon
Taxation
Phoenix.
is theft.
Simon
This man's
Phoenix.
great.
Oh,
Right.
but yeah, seeing Wesley Snipes back and getting him an opportunity to kind of, take a shot at
So-
the Blade, movie. That
And he
they're
kicked
working on.
ass, man.
Yeah,
There's only
Kicked
one
ass.
Blade. There will ever be one.
Yeah. Freaking
The
Snipes is
Channing
awesome.
Tatum shit was, I fucking was dying laughing when I saw that, because that movie, they'd been trying to do it for like a decade, and finally just like it's not gonna happen, and he just fucking strolls in there.
Can I ask you a
Yeah.
question?
Yes.
How did Jennifer Garner wind up with a more defined muscular upper body than Wesley Snipes exactly?
Bro. Yeah, I was looking at
CGI.
those arms. Like, damn.
You were supposed to be dodging taxes, not workouts. Dude.
Yeah. Well, CGI probably. I think CGI helped that a lot. And one of the things that was noticeable. So, okay, I love the comic book covers and the comic book references at the beginning when they're first. We have Age of Apocalypse Wolverine.
Yeah,
We have
Wolverine.
Short Wolverine. We have Henry Cavill. We have Uncanny X-Men 251. Wolverine. They mentioned John Byrne. I was like, yes, thank you,
dude. That was awesome.
But I would have rather seen the Hulk fight than like stuff that happens later. It starts out fine. It kind of the TVA fucks this movie up for me. Absolutely
I hate
fucks
the
this up.
TVA. I hate the
villain.
TVA.
Like the beginning and the end, it is really fucking limited by the TVA stuff. Especially when they bring that fat black woman from Loki.
Yeah,
Body positivity
yeah,
time
yeah,
cop.
Yeah, plus
That
That
was
was a girl boss
guys,
at the end.
Yeah.
That was interested in men, by the way. Not total surprise.
Shocking.
That was a real surprise.
Yeah,
Little shocking.
But it's like that really did bring it all back. That it's like, God, this is actually connected to the MCU.
Yeah.
But despite that, again, I still had fun with it, and I love the fact that they brought Chris Evans back as Johnny Storm, because since he was cast as Captain America, comic book fans have been making this joke about multiverses, about shit like that, about how funny it would be for them to think that he was Captain America, then for him to turn into Johnny, and they fucking did it.
Yeah,
right? They did it live action. He immediately got the shit kicked out of him.
But they ignored Ryan Reynolds was in a Blade film.
Yes,
was in a Blade film.
No,
they ignored the
made a joke
Green
about
Lantern.
Yeah, they made a reference to that.
Yeah.
Did they?
Yes, they absolutely did.
Oh, missed it.
Yeah,
I must have missed it too.
But yeah, like listen, Chris Evans not a movie star. Okay, I think we've established that. But
It's always
it
been
was
a better Johnny Storm than he was a Captain America. I thought it.
No, dude, he was fantastic.
It fits his personality. It fits his personality. That's how all of his characters are like these wisecracking, fast talking, kind of like Ryan Reynolds a little bit. But he works way better as Johnny.
Mm-hmm. No, I think Chris Evans is a phenomenal Captain America. I think he's excellent in that role.
Not as trash as Captain America. He's good.
I think he's perfect. But I also think he's not a movie star. But that was funny. It was funny. And shout out to his movie Lightyear that failed after he attacked the fan base. Go fuck yourself, Chris Evans, you piece of shit.
The Ben Affleck comment.
Yes,
sorry, what happened to Daredevil? Jennifer Garner goes, it's fine. By the way, Mother of the Year. Jennifer Garner, Mother of the Year. She's got one kid still wearing a mask, asking for mask mandates, and another kid who comes out as non-binary at Grandpa's funeral. So great parenting right there.
What a time.
Yeah, totally.
Maybe if she spent a little less time on the Bowflex and a little more parenting, maybe. I don't know. By the way, lots of folks seem to love Gambit, but bro, that costume was made for radio.
Yeah.
The costume wasn't
great. But
no one wants to see a grown man in a full body condom except Leslie Nielsen and Naked Gun. Like,
I did appreciate it. It was comic book accurate. I was like, I'm glad that they.
I understand why they didn't make a Gambit movie with him though, because he doesn't look anything like fucking Gambit.
Yeah, honestly,
his attempt at an accent was great though.
What's the guy's name from X-Men Origins that did Gambit? What was his name? Taylor Kitsch. Taylor Kitsch
from John Carter.
He would have been a much better.
Yes, he would have.
One thing we've learned about Channing Tatum is keep him out of any of these roles. G.I. Joe, Gambit, keep him the fuck out of these roles. Let him go do
21 Jump Street. 21 Jump Street's pretty much the only thing he's good in.
Some race swap dance movie where he hooked up some black chick or some shit. Just keep doing that shit, okay? Go do that. Stay the fuck out of these
race
roles.
Swap to dance movie.
It was like some Oreo fucking dance movie. I don't know.
Like was Step Up to the Streets or whatever. Like was that a remake of the original? Jerry sees a black woman race swap.
That was the first race swap.
But
he was really thinking of Magic Mike, and then he was like, "Oh, I shouldn't say that one. I shouldn't."
No, there's like what is that movie? There's like some fucking movie that it's like anyway, some black chick and him in it or some bullshit. I think I don't know. Anyway, fuck Channing Tatum, but him as Gambit. They leaned into the meme. They leaned into the jokes. I thought it worked, and it also showed us why we're never going to get him as Gambit on screen. Never in a million years should we ever get that. Holy shit!
He was a bit rounder at the cheeks there as well.
Yeah. But because his mask. His costume was pushing his face out.
I'm saying, like the body condom is not flattering. It doesn't hug in all the right places.
But Channing Tatum's also too beefy to be Gambit. I mean, Gambit's a thin dude, thin and tall. Channing Tatum, that is not him.
Yeah, yeah. Not
what did y'all think of the villain? Because I liked the villain. I thought she was great.
Menacing. Fine. Yeah, she was good. Yeah,
she's fine. But they explained her motivations in like a sentence and a half.
Like, I thought
that's kind of the thing. It's like there's not a lot of substance to the movie.
Her performance was good. She did a good job in the role.
Yes, Sandra Nova was fine.
Yeah, it wasn't her that I didn't like. It was the fact that they basically made her so powerful. The way they beat her was literally she couldn't even be in the same room with them, and that she just had to exist in a place and die. And it I think they would have done better off with another villain that could have been defeated by the actual heroes.
Yeah, the third act was very kind of like
it's the
that whole kind of them sacrificing themselves was so convoluted and made up. It's like you can't beat her. Oh wait, if you combine the matter and antimatter things, then you can.
Let me explain.
Why didn't she just let go?
Anytime matter and antimatter and a device are involved, just say plot device.
Just say plot device.
It's the
while he was explaining
fields.
While he was explaining it, they should have had Deadpool.
The tachyon fields. Okay, that's what happened. All right,
we reversed the polarity. No,
yeah.
In the beginning, it's like whenever you hear them use anti-life equation, it's like, wait a minute.
Yes.
Isn't anti-life equation just another way of saying death?
Well, they were like, this tube is full of matter. It's like, yes, like the rest of the world.
like everything else.
In the first 20 minutes or whatever, that thing that they literally had to destroy at the end, Deadpool like points it out and he's like, what's that MacGuffin or something?
Yeah. No, that's fine. But there are like when you're making fun of the universe, and I talked about this with Mahler last night. So and then you start doing the things you're making fun of. That's where it gets kind of mucky. But like Disparu said, this is a parody. This is a joke. So this is supposed to be a comedy, and they made not even a half-hearted effort to put a little heart and meaning into it.
Yeah,
and it didn't work with that. Like that was very like spoon-fed, and
the origin story of that universe's Logan, where he literally just goes out for a bender, and when he comes back, his whole team has been
everybody's dead.
But
I was waiting for it to be revealed, like
man.
something else happened. I was like, halfway through the movie, they're gonna say he just went out to get a drink, and that's what it is. But then
you find out later, like happened. He was mind controlled by one of the 50 freaking X-Men villains that can mind control, and he killed them or something. And then show something. Yeah.
He didn't just kill the X-Men, but the X-women and the X-children too.
Yes.
Well, I think it was so that he could have the same story as Deadpool. Like Deadpool couldn't come up with a reason why he needed to save the world because he just cared about a smaller thing. And Wolverine had the same thing. It wasn't necessarily they went out for a drink. It was that he said no to joining the X-Men in the first place. And so if he'd been the hero, he would have been in the right place rather than out drinking. Which was Deadpool's same issue. He kind of gave up on saving people.
I didn't like that. That also felt hollow for me. Deadpool just deciding that he's left his girlfriend and he's not doing anything of importance. That felt again convoluted, just to try and force whatever
No, we see this. It's a bit of a trope. We saw this like with the with one of the Batman movies. Was it Dark Knight Rises, where he's retired at that point?
So yeah. Apparently, okay, there's a couple edits that bother me. There's one particular edit that bothers me because we saw it in the trailer when X-23's there, right? She was way better. By the way, much better in this than she was in The Acolyte.
Oh, hell yeah.
And she gives the line at the campfire, which reminds me of the fire in space from The Acolyte for no apparent reason. And she turns around and she like, you've never been that guy until you were, or something like that, or you've always been that guy till you weren't, or something like that. She follows it up with until you weren't, but they cut that out. Yeah. They cut that the last part out that we saw in the trailer, and then they recall it with the full line later in. And I'm like, that's an editing mistake. That's a flat out editing mistake.
Yeah, it's like it was almost an artistic choice, except it wasn't artistic.
It wasn't, because by cutting that last line out, it makes him an asshole. It just makes him an asshole. So like it feels like, well,
it kind of makes her rushed. An asshole too.
Yeah, it does. And remember, the principal photography for this movie was finished in February of this year.
Quick.
February of this year.
They did a really quick round of reshoots, right?
Yeah, they did a quick round. There's also a bunch of stuff missing. Apparently, there's going to be some like hard R director's cut that's probably going to come out digitally or something like that. But there's a bunch of stuff missing that.
I guess ripping a guy's skin off and reducing him to flesh, bones, and organs.
That's fine.
On the ground is not.
Apparently, Kid Pool says some horribly like inappropriate line beyond like "get Wolverine's dick out of your mouth." Like after that, that's worse. That I guess they just said no on. But there's other stuff too.
What does he use? The hard R? He uses the hard R.
He might. You know, also the CG, like a little rough.
Oh yeah, especially in the beginning. It's very rough.
Spots, yeah.
Have you seen Deadpool 2?
I have seen Deadpool 2, and the CG was from 7 years ago, 6 years ago, 5 years ago, and it's better.
No, the ending fight scene.
Yeah, it is.
Like,
it's better than this. Deadpool 2 is better than this.
The one where Domino's like
2,
running down the street or whatever. You're talking that was.
But we're talking like 6 years ago.
Okay.
All right, we're talking 6 years ago. The technology has completely fucking changed, and like this is the third best Deadpool movie. Like Deadpool, I just rewatched. I don't know if you guys. I just rewatched Deadpool 2, and I might have been a little too harsh. Kid's still fucking annoying as hell.
Yeah, the kid's
but Juggernaut's awesome in it. The Juggernaut's brilliant.
I haven't seen him I haven't seen 1 or 2 in a long time, but I remember 1 being a lot more like.
One's like the best.
One is still the best.
Absolutely the best.
One is awesome.
It was the most Colossus, of course.
As to if this one is better than 2, I'm up in the air because
I have to watch. I have to rewatch.
I think it's third in line at this point. It's not better than the previous 2.
Well, the thing is like, what kind of rewatchability do you have in this movie? All of the slow-mo character reveals, you've already seen them. So what am I going to sit home and watch them slowly walk out when I know exactly what's going to happen?
Well, if you watch them,
it doesn't have that impact.
Through Tortuga, you still hear the audience clapping, which might help that immensely.
They should add it like a laugh track.
They should like straight up do like a sitcom laugh track and applause thing for the entry. Because like when you've watched it for the third, if you're watching this the third time through, and Blade walks in very slow, and it's cool seeing Blade. That was great. I applauded too.
That was awesome.
But are you on the 4th or 5th time, especially when there's no meaning? No Way Home, whether you like it or not, No Way Home like had some resolution for Toby's character, for Andrew Garfield's character from those fucking terrible Amazing Spider-Man movies, and it had heart. It repurposed.
It made me like Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man, which is a fucking accomplishment.
It made the world like that Spider-Man.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, because I hated his Spider-Man forever. I mean, I refused to even watch the second one.
Dude, I hated the end of Amazing Spider-Man 2 so much.
Speaking of movies are bad. I thought he was a pretty decent a decent Spider-Man, but I thought the movies were just garbage.
Well, it's because he's a good actor. Like he's a good actor, but the character just didn't fit him very well.
Yeah, you're not going to find as much, I feel like, heart and soul in these movies as we do in the Spider-Man movies.
Right.
No, but Deadpool 1 has surprisingly a little heart in it. Like when I wasn't expecting.
I found this one to have a little more heart, I guess, than most of you guys did. We've already kind of seen the resolution of Wolverine. We've seen Logan. So I wasn't really bought in that they were going to be able to do anything to try to like pull that off again. I don't think it was nearly as good as they did in Logan, but I thought it was good. And I was invested in that kind of redemption arc, and as well as a little bit in Deadpool as well. Just by jokes undercutting it every single moment, because that's the character of Deadpool. But yeah, I didn't have as big of a problem, I guess, with the
if you go in with like just this is going to be a gag fest, and that's all it is. That's it. It's nothing more than a parody and a comedy, which is fine. And people were laughing, people were enjoying it. I had fun with it. I'd say its worst crime. Its worst crime was it was slow. There's parts where it drags, like straight up drags, like when they're right before they're in the Honda Odyssey. It's just kind of slow. And I wasn't expecting. It's like, fuck, have Ryan Reynolds talk, for Christ's sake, do something. So there were slow, like that was surprising. There was like really quiet parts in the theater where we were just waiting to get to the next thing.
Did I miss a thing? Because I haven't watched a lot of Marvel movies in the last several years. Is there a story behind Red Nightcrawler apart from the bad makeup? He's got like a beard and he's red, but it's clearly
Nightcrawler. First Class, Azazel. That's the character.
Yes, and that's Nightcrawler. Well, it was Nightcrawler's pops.
Yeah, I'm like, when did Nightcrawler like look like Jared Leto boned down with Brother Love?
So that's that's Azazel, and he was in First Class, and famously. He's one of those mute villains from the early Fox X-Men, like X-Men movies. They would just the villains would never fucking say anything. They just walk around going, yeah.
He's one of those. I was totally lost.
What was the story behind Wolverine being tied to a giant X on a mountain of skulls?
That's a comic cover. That's
Comic
Uncanny
cover.
X-Men 251. So they're just calling
okay.
back to comic covers. Yeah.
Walking in front of the Liefeld fucking store.
Yes, I did like. I love the Liefeld's Just Feet store, but you could tell you could tell the set designer was not a comic fan because the shelves weren't empty.
I didn't catch them all, but there's a fuck ton of Easter eggs in it. Like there's a Secret Wars comic book. There's this like shit all over the place. And there's stuff I'm like, I probably should know what that is, but I don't. There's a ton of that. If you want to look in the background and spend your time doing that, which some fans will do, but most of the normies won't catch it. But yeah, Age of Apocalypse, Disparu, that was cool to see. That's the one-handed Wolverine with the hair and everything was burning. Seeing that was fucking cool because I love Age of Apocalypse. But so there was some cool stuff for comic book fans. But I think they really got in the weeds, which I'm fine. I'm totally fine with. I don't care. And it seems like the audience fucking loved it. So I think this.
Yeah.
How much legs does it have? Does it do like No Way Home money? I don't think so, but I think it rules the year for sure. Like without a doubt.
I don't think
it breaks the bill.
Inside Out 2 is the only competition for the entire year.
That's going to be tough. Yeah, that's dude. That thing made so much money.
It's still tracking well. I mean, it could end 1.5, 1.6
billion. I don't get it. It's okay. The movie's fine.
Yeah.
Like it's not amazing. It's fine.
Yeah, I mean, they need something to go take their kids to over the summer. That's really it.
Listen, when things aren't gay, it goes a long way.
That goes a long way. That's true.
Excuse me. Can you even conceive how many butt babies were probably conceived to that Madonna song that they kept playing? Are you kidding me?
They play that song 5 times.
Yeah,
it's insane.
Isn't there a joke about a butt baby in this? There's a
there's so many like butthole and like anal sex jokes. Like
That's
even
what I'm
too many
saying,
for
like,
me.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like
that's saying something.
Like,
for one.
You would think.
I mean, have you seen Simcast?
That's the one thing. Like, I guess you can't objectify women in the Deadpool movies now, or something.
No, you can't. That's noticeable. It was very Marvel.
Yeah.
It was very Marvel.
And there was like not much visible violence towards women.
They didn't even make fun of the bald chick.
Yeah.
They didn't even make fun of her do.
Yeah, I wanted to hear an alopecia joke.
Have to go up and slap somebody.
I thought there was.
There was literally a fucking keep someone's name out of your mouth joke, wasn't there?
Right.
Yeah, there was.
Yes, there was.
Canada.
There was.
Canada.
Blake Lively's Lady Deadpool. Like she gets hacked up.
Yeah.
Lady
That's
Deadpool.
true, yeah.
I would have liked to see like Lady Deadpool like pull off her mask and have it be like Gwen Stefani or somebody.
It was Blake Lively.
Yeah, Blake Lively would have been cool.
It was her.
I'm just happy it wasn't Taylor Swift.
It was, yes.
I'm just happy it wasn't Taylor Swift.
I was hoping she would take her mask off and it would just be another Ryan Reynolds.
No, Ryan denied that before the film came out because so many people were asking for it. He's like, no, it's not me.
Should have been.
Wasn't there rumors that Taylor Swift's going to be in this movie? Was there
Dazzler appearing?
Her big Dazzler, yeah.
Okay. Well, thank God that didn't happen.
Yep.
Yeah.
You want to break the fourth wall? Deadpool, bring Trump into the fucking movie. Have some fucking balls. Of course they wouldn't do that, though, would they?
If it was the 80s, they absolutely would.
Absolutely, yeah. That's true. That's true. But overall, again, we'll see. I don't know if this movie has I don't see it having the legs of something like No Way Home. I think it will probably hit $1 billion. I don't think it's going to compete with Inside Out 2 for the top grossing movie of the year. That movie is doing insane amounts. But yeah, I'm not dying to go see it again. But I did enjoy it. I enjoyed it, but I'm not dying to go see it again. It's one of those things where I enjoyed it. I watched it. I'm good. I can move on now.
Yeah, that's not like to me, this isn't like a repeat viewing one.
Yeah.
Right. I think like I wouldn't expect to have anywhere near the legs of No Way Home.
Yeah.
But this opening is fucking massive.
Oh, yeah,
especially for an R-rated movie.
Well, also keep in mind,
we're talking insane numbers.
When it comes to like MCU films like this, that especially have like cameos and secrets, the reason why you always see a huge drop off week 2 is because most people want to see it before any spoilers come out.
Right.
And so you're going to see probably a pretty sizable drop off next weekend. But yeah, it's definitely making $1 billion. And to be honest, I'm going to be interested to see how much more it makes versus Joker. Because Joker, obviously the last $1 billion radar film that we've had, and this one I think is going to be a lot higher than that one.
Yeah. I didn't even realize it was rated R. There were an alarming number of small children in the theater. I gotta be honest.
Yeah, there was a lot of kids in our theater
I was like,
too.
oh, Father of the Year back there. Fantastic.
A lot of things reminded me of Loki, and I don't know if that's just because they're
TVA,
like the Paradox guy. To me, I feel like his acting was a bit inspired by the Loki character, just because sort of like his smugness, his sort of like flippant cuntiness, and also the way that
British.
Yeah, I was gonna say
maybe
that's just British. I mean,
and then the way that Wolverine and Deadpool like die at the end is similar to the way that Loki kind of makes the Loki actually, not that he dies, but he ties himself up for eternity, holding all the timelines together.
Yeah.
What actor plays the Tick? What actor plays the Tick? Because that's who he felt like he was doing an impersonation of, to be honest.
Which one? So there's Patrick Warburton, and then there's the newer one was the guy from The Gentleman. I always forget his name. He was
the Nova Corps 2 in
Nova Corps 2, and
in Hot Fuzz. Not Hot Fuzz.
I forgot his name. He voiced Darth Maul.
Maul, yeah.
Yeah,
but that's the one who honestly it felt like
dude
he was doing.
That was a good show, by the way. Amazon cut that one way too short. All versions of the Tick rule.
So just why we mentioned Loki previously, like, because that's why this film doesn't have any real substance or anything, because it's completely inconsistent. And I know, the lore that they established in the Loki series is dumb, but if Loki did end up in that mega powerful overseeing the multiverse thing, it's a bit of a jerk move for him to just let Deadpool's universe die because it lost an anchor person, whatever. Friggin' anchor person, piss off, and it's not going to be consistent. They'll forget that mechanic,
The universe just picks a protagonist.
Exactly.
Yes.
That's what it is.
Much. Yeah.
What the hell is that? Speaking of what, did you at the end when they kind of do the little fake out during the last combat sequence and everybody's getting stabbed and you think they're going to be dead, like Gambit and all them are like getting near mortally wounded or whatever. Huge missed opportunity to have Elektra get stabbed in the back and go, not again. What the hell? How? How did they not do that?
Oh shit! They blew it. So yeah, before we get out of spoiler territory, I think the TVA was the dark shadow over it for me. I enjoyed it, fun. Don't know if I'm going to rewatch it a bunch of times. Don't know if that stuff's going to hit the same. And reaffirming that, like, I was hoping that it would be a Fox TVA that they just completely kill and destroy and just wipe that stuff out. And if you're talking about how multiverses aren't working anymore, just wipe out the TV. Don't bring in body positivity time cop from one of the biggest lore destroying fucking shows there is out there. Just to remind everyone, it still exists until they completely undo this. The MCU was pre-written by Kang. No one had free will.
Yep,
that's the story of the show. A lot of people didn't see it, but that's the story of the show. Is the MCU, even though it's fake, you still have you want to have your suspension of disbelief. Wow. It got destroyed because Kang wrote the script.
So the Marvel universe believes in predestination.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Like what I was hoping that whatever device Paradox made that destroys the universe, Deadpool would take back to the TVA and set it off there and wipe out the TVA and just
that can still happen in Secret Wars. We'll find out. You want to pull that article back up? So Ringer of sorry, go on. Somebody gonna say something? I got it. Ringer of all sites, which they're usually pretty shitty, is pointing out that this is not going to save Hollywood. It's not going to save the superhero film because, I was talking about this with Mark Millar. It's like they've lost the event status, and how are you going to do why they can't crack the code for a Blade film is because they've put so much money into it. They need it to be $1 billion, which it's not going to be. Mm-hmm. And you don't need you can't do a singular solo superhero movie anymore. No. At least Hollywood doesn't believe you can. Now they could if they put $50 million into it and got a $200 million return and actually made it good. That'd be fine. That'd totally work. But that's not how the business works with this. So now you have to make an event, and these events have to have more and more cameos. And it's like, where do you
It's the same thing as the comic industry, dude, with the constant events and crossovers.
Yep.
Totally. I just got one of the worst ever, the hardcover of Daredevil Shadowland.
God.
Just for completionist's sake, but it's a classic example of that, right? Because it's street level, grim, gritty, punching thugs in a back alley kind of character. And then it's like, let's have a mass Marvel crossover with that. Let's have Captain America show up and help. Like, what the hell? Right? They're doing that in film and have been doing it in film for a long time. I do like how this movie takes the piss out of that, though.
Yes.
Although for a movie that makes fun of modern tropes, how is it even possible they did a completely stone-faced, unironic, slow-mo jump climax into the Whirlpool dishwasher logo portal in freaking 2024? That was almost the climax of the movie. They did that in Mass Effect 2, for Christ's sake. That was 2010. Jesus.
How does a girl boss from an unpopular show come in and start ordering people around at the end? It's like, oh, Jesus Christ. So Deadpool and Wolverine might save summer, but not Hollywood. It still needs rescuing. The sole superhero movie of this summer, well, that's not. That's disrespectful. Well, it's the summer, I guess. But we do have more, just the Minions, right? There was superheroes in the Minions, by the way. Because I watched it.
It was good.
The sole superhero movie of the summer will almost certainly boost an up and coming box or up and down box office, but that success would be based on a mirage. So one of the many mirages that many of us brought up is ticket prices. So you're selling fewer tickets; they're more expensive. Does this sound familiar, Raz0rfist? Comic industry selling fewer comics to fewer people for a higher price.
Maybe we'll get some like variant covers of the movie tickets.
Yes,
I don't know.
Variant endings is what
we're getting. Variant popcorn buckets. I think at our theater they had Headpool. And Headpool for the pop.
What was that from? The hovering skull head.
It's one of the multiple Deadpools. Which
Marvel Zombies.
Real quick.
Zombies,
Real quick. I don't like Deadpool in the comics. I've never liked Deadpool in the comics. I actually think the movies are better than the comics. I think the joke gets really fucking old real fast. Yeah. I think it's fine in a 2-hour movie. When it's in a comic book series and it's just constant, it gets fucking boring.
He's a cameo character. He's one of those characters who can't support his own book, but he can show up in other people's, and it's awesome.
Yep. It's a strange summer strange summer at the box office. Heading into June, the tone around the state of moviegoing was bordering on apocalyptic, with theater chains and major studios rallying around the mantra, just survive until 25. In lights of also white and pale is stale. Don't forget, that's the other mantra.
That is
in light of underperforming blockbusters and diminishing film slates, never mind that the main catalyst for the sparse schedule goes back to Hollywood's labor strikes. Hey, SAG, the Film Actors Guild just went on another strike, by the way, for games.
Oh, wow.
Way to go.
Genius.
When these very studios destroyed all the momentum that Barbenheimer, the Barbenheimer phenomenon created, did the studios destroy it or did the unions destroy it?
Well, both, all the above.
I also hate when the unions they went on strike for months and then came back with a deal that was barely better than the one they had months before.
Yeah,
they were holding on for something that never appeared. Also,
and
they're ignoring the fact that the box office was on a steady decline long before this, like even long before COVID. And so, like, that's why it drives me crazy when they try to use the strikes as an excuse as to why these films are failing.
It's almost as bad. It's straw that broke the camel's back. That and COVID back to back.
Yeah.
And it fucked up their release schedule. You know, even last year, which was filled with flops, June had a big movie release every weekend, like a really big movie release every weekend. And then we had two on the same weekend. Remember God, it's been a long time since we've had that happen.
You can't even just blame it on things like strikes and whatever, because if you look at the history of Hollywood post-strike, and there's been a lot of strikes in Hollywood, has sometimes been the most productive periods for Hollywood.
Mm-hmm.
I was showing off on social media my new 4K Robin Hood Prince of Thieves. And on the special features, they talk about how they made the movie And the whole reason they got to make that movie was because there was a giant writer's strike and people were just greedy for product in the immediate aftermath. So if you had a good movie in the aftermath of a strike, it would usually be a hit. That's not happening because the movies suck, right?
I've got to say, Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves are the greatest films ever made.
I love it.
Yeah,
it is.
Absolutely love it.
But even more modern time. Yeah, but even more modern time, I go straight back to, remember how they were all the Hollywood elites and all the media was saying, oh, the box office is so dead, COVID has just destroyed it. And it was when the West Side Story remake came out and it was like a massive flop. And then what happened the week after? Spider-Man No Way Home came out and just destroyed that narrative completely. Yeah.
But the thing is, you've got a different group of people in Hollywood now. Even the writers were like, well, on previous strikes, we were just writing through the strikes. So we had all these scripts for people to choose from when we got out the other side. They wrote nothing during this strike. They basically went on a 3-month bender and then just thought it was all... And it just seems like it was an industry that was so high on its own success. They thought they had everything. And it was like the audience that was the problem. And then they've now found out, no, the audience no longer cares about you. So even if you'd written anything, everything dies anyway.
Yeah. I guess they just forgot video games exist and people could stay home and play those.
Yeah.
I think you've got
YouTube
amount
and
of choice.
all the other things, streamers, everything.
Yeah, that's the big difference. They went on strike when there's serious competition out there for entertainment. Like before
competition
there wasn't.
that has superseded them years earlier.
Yes. Like Odin was saying, like it was already going out of like fashion, out of vogue to go to the movie theater because you've got all these other things. And then COVID hit, and then the strikes hit, and then, and then all of these bad movies that we've been seeing the last few years. Guys, not a good time to strike.
No. Oh, well, here we go. So they talk about The Fall Guy and Furiosa, which were liked by critics and audiences alike, but just couldn't catch on with enough people. So the people who saw it liked it, but the people didn't want to go. With The Fall Guy,
there was no Mel Gibson. It was a Mad Max movie with no Mad Max.
Yep. I did not like the movie.
Let me crack the Omega code for you. It's not that hard.
Hey,
you need Mel.
Fall Guy was a good movie, though. I enjoyed that.
It's like the Omega code with Blade. Maybe the vampire hunter should hunt vampires.
Yeah.
Didn't this prove, though, like, I think if Wolverine had been Henry Cavill, most people would have been fine with it, and even in this movie.
Yeah.
So I think you can definitely replace the actors, but you have to come up with an exceptional one to replace them that people are more than happy with.
You have to recast.
How tall is Cavill? I know Hugh Jackman's pretty tall. But
Cavill's like 6'1", I think. 6'2", maybe.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, like, is Wolverine just getting taller? Is it going to be like Manute Bol by the end? Or...
Yes.
Kevin Nash as Wolverine.
Yes.
He's got those short arms, though, so he could be perceived as short.
He does. I did die laughing when they did.
That was funny.
That
was so funny.
Wolverine. Like that was fucking hilarious.
That felt like a Shrek joke. Like he just jumped down with teeny tiny.
He'd still kick your fucking ass though.
Yeah, Cavill would be about the same height. He's 6'2", so Hugh Jackman 6'2", and then Cavill 6'1".
Yeah. I also we didn't mention it. I love the Star Trek reference. The Spock reference after he fucking locked him in. Yeah,
that's right.
The good news in the past month, animated features have helped the box office rebound. Both Inside Out 2 and Despicable Me 4 are doing good. God damn it. It's all sequels.
Haven't CGI animated movies just been printing money all through this time anyways, though? Except
for Pixar. Pixar has been having trouble, but everybody else has been fine.
Well, Pixar and Walt Disney Animation Studios. Because Inside Out is the first success they've had in the past basically 4 years.
That's
all while Universal's like Illumination stuff has been dominating them. And the biggest difference is the Illumination stuff costs like $75-80 million. Whereas all the Pixar, Disney stuff, all that costs $200 million to make. So even if Despicable Me makes like $1 billion at the box office,
its profits are going to be through the roof.
And Inside Out 2 ends up making 1.5. The net profit's probably going to be close to the same because of how cheap the fucking Minions movies are.
Yeah, as of right now,
Toy Story 5 coming down the pipe.
Yeah, as of right now, Inside Out 2 is about 370 in profits, and Despicable Me is about 130 in profits. So it's like obviously Despicable Me is not nearly as high, but that's a much larger return on investment with how little money they put into that film versus what they put into Inside Out 2.
Oh my God! Sorry, I was looking at something. All right. No, I was actually. There's a Doctor Who spinoff. There's a Doctor Who spinoff coming out. Oh, fuck.
What are they gonna do now? Did so well.
So wait. So instead of canceling the show that's failing, they're deciding to double down on it.
Oh,
Makes sense
that's
for Disney.
You know what? RTD's doing a paddle with Alex Kurtzman. That's what Alex Kurtzman does. Hey, if you make one failure of a show, just announce 3 more. They can't stop you. They can't stop you. They're promoting Star Trek here with 3 canceled shows, like on their banners.
Massive banners on the sides of
and
buildings.
Michelle Yeoh, it's like, and the seat and the art on it is fucking terrible. And she's Michelle Yeoh is up front and center for her Section 31 movie that nobody gives a fuck about. They're just like trying to capitalize on her Academy Award win from like God almost 2 years ago.
And the more you find out about that show, the less Section 31 it is. Like it will be nothing like the TV series that they've had.
Raz0rfist, Section 31, famous secret organization that has badges and ships and a base now.
Hey, fantastic.
And a bunch of people in it. Yeah. It's like they got shitloads of people in that secret organization with their black badges and their black alerts.
Yes.
Twisters exceeded expectations by whipping up just north of $80 million. Who's seen Twisters?
I want to, but I have not.
It's okay.
I might go see it now because the director said he didn't include climate change because he doesn't see movies as important to be like, he doesn't think that messages should be in every single movie. He's like, I don't want to put this message in the movie, so I'm just going to make it about a
every time we say Twisters, we need that boogie clip.
The one thing I will say is that he says he doesn't explicitly put it in the movie. It is implied though. So
which boogie clip?
Oh my God! No, the one where he's
twisted my tibbles.
Yeah, he doesn't even say nipples.
Nipples.
Oh God!
Listen, that AI song that Keem made for Boogie is one of the greatest songs. I don't know if you've heard it, but it's an AI song about Boogie. It's so fucking good. Shad winning everybody over with the AI shit. So
it's happening. I told you.
I'm a little alarmed when I heard Boogie and Twister. I was worried it would be a video of him playing Twister.
That's an impossibility.
Okay, not okay.
By any measure, Deadpool and Wolverine will be a major hit. So they bring up the Marvel Cinematic Universe. What the article basically states is, hey, this is going to be great. It's not going to save superhero films, but it might make the studios believe that it saves superhero films. And that's where the problem comes in. So this movie's fun. It's fine. I would say at best, it's progress, not perfection as far as turning things around. But the problem is the studios are going to just see cameos. We need more characters, cameos. And we were worried about that with No Way Home too, is they're not going to see like, hey, there's people like the story in that one. That's why it made $2 billion. But it's cameos. We just need more superheroes. What properties do we have? Because studios are generally retarded. They've proven that over the last few years. And I don't think it's going to be the turnaround they want. We've always said this, like, even if it's a hit, it's not going to be, because look what they're following it up with. And it's all about optics. Agatha is the next thing they're doing. It's coming out September. It's coming out in a month. So
we've got the proof. What happened to the MCU after No Way Home? It's fucking terrible. Like this is not going, you're not going to repair this universe. It's never happening. You should have blew the whole motherfucker up when you had the chance here with all this multiverse shit. And you didn't.
Could have done it
garbage.
In this movie.
It's garbage.
And remember, Doctor Strange 2 had a direct connection to No Way Home. And so that is why it carried over to that opening weekend. Like that opening weekend for that film was 450 million worldwide.
And people are still like, and they're hanging on for Secret Wars, which is going to bring back Tony Stark, which is going to bring back Chris Evans and everybody else. And it's going to be another cameo fest in 2 years. But they still need a plan. You still need to like release a single superhero movie, and it needs to do pretty good, and it has to be engaging. Like,
so it's Blade then. Blade, we got it.
With Wesley Snipes, maybe.
It's not going to be Shang-Chi too. That's for sure.
That's pretty talking about Eternals too. Like, because the superhero movies are not events anymore. Right. Like these are the new events. movies that are come around once every couple years that are fucking massively loaded with a bunch of cameos. These are the new events.
Yeah.
So how do you make that sustainable? You can't when you're making $250 million standalone movies, or in the case of Black Captain America 4, $375 million budget.
Captain African American.
Sorry,
and counting.
I like one syllable. It's easy. But
and what's the longevity of that? Like the only reason that cameo movies work is because individual characters work in their different movies, and you put them in a cameo movie. When you only have cameo movies, there's nothing there. The
well runs dry.
Yeah.
Also,
it's a gimmick, and eventually that gimmick comes to an end because nobody cares anymore.
It's also about marketing too, though.
They literally just went back in the well, right, and pulled out. For people like us who grew up watching fucking Blade and those first X-Men movies, who were there for like the first real superhero movies that started coming out, they have now blown their load on all those characters. And I did enjoy seeing some of those guys show up, and I liked it. But now what do you do?
Well, there's comic stories that they have to adapt it. I mean, a lot of that early stuff, Spider-Man 1 and 2, X-Men and whatever, they were kind of loose even Daredevil were loose adaptations of comic book stories. Man, in some cases, you have not only adapted those comic book stories, you've done it like 3, 4, 5 times now.
Yep.
Phoenix Saga.
Yep. Right.
Oh, twice. Hey, Daredevil Born Again. That's
yes.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone went to this movie.
We've seen the death of Elektra on screen twice now,
Yep.
which I never thought I would see it once in my lifetime. We've now seen it twice.
I don't think anyone went to this movie for the cameos. I think they went for Deadpool and Wolverine. Now, the cameos may be a big part of why people like the movie when they went to see it. But I think you definitely, if they do take cameos from this, because I think everyone with Spider-Man knew that they were going to get the other Spider-Man, and so that would be a draw to it. But this, it was like, no. Especially like Cavill.
Fun,
that was
and it's a very self-aware palate cleanser.
Yeah. The death of Elektra, the second death of Elektra I was talking about was in the Netflix show, by the way.
I
was getting ready to
I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Sorry, spoilers from a freaking 7-year-old show or whatever.
And I think that one of the things they did have a couple like that were true cameo, but for the most part, we got a decent amount of Wesley Snipes Blade in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Right, which I don't think I wasn't expecting to get as much as we did. It's not like he was, he's got 30 minutes worth of screen time or anything, but it's more than just a little, hey, say a one-liner and you're gone type of thing. It was actually more meaningful, like roles for some of these characters.
Each one of them got a moment. They got
the majority of the cameos basically got a moment.
Yeah.
Which again, it's great the first viewing when you watch it the first time in a theater with other people, or maybe the first time at home. But after that, the third time, the fourth time,
we'll see.
There's no return value.
Well, there's a lot of things too that they beat a lot of jokes to death. And
another thing, the article, you don't have to pull it back up, points out is how little competition there is for this movie. So it should contribute to its success as well, because we were talking about it. There's probably a big movie opening like one a month now. So it's September. There's Beetlejuice, right? October Joker. What's in November? Aliens coming out in August.
Right. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So it's like one movie that'll probably do okay. Like Alien will probably be like, it'll probably perform, I'm guessing, like Planet of the Apes did. Do pretty good. Be fine. I think the director's okay. I think he's an okay director. Do we need to see Alien? And it's 1.5 apparently. It's like in the middle of Alien and Aliens.
Gen Z. We watched the trailer. It was for the trailer played. It's Gen Z in space. It's like all of the characters are Gen Zs. There's no adults on this ship. I'm like, who is running this ship?
It's fan service is what it is. It's like, hey guys, remember this movie moment? Remember that movie? That's what I'm getting from it. It's like it was made in a focus group. Hey, they didn't like this shit about the last several Aliens movies. Let's make something that's like the first two. That's kind of what I'm getting from it.
Gary, you were saying, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, instead of making the fucking aliens finally come to Earth, that's all I want to see.
Oh, yeah.
That's like the one thing you haven't done. And maybe fight a dude. I don't know. That'd be different, too.
Didn't they technically with Alien vs. Predator, technically?
Yes.
We technically count
do we
those
count
movies?
those? I like the comics. I like the comics, but
well,
yeah.
good. what you said is like there's one big movie every month, and those big movies quotations aren't that big. They're not tent pole movies. They're all sequels. They're maybes. There's low budget, could maybe break even movies. Like none of them are massive. Infinity War, like we're just not seeing that.
Well, yeah, it's certainly not new ones. Like what was that action movie that everybody said was good that Ryan Gosling was in?
Fall Guy.
Yeah, I actually did like it, and it made like $5 in Malo Cup money. Like, did nothing at all. Of course, that was a weird one because it was kind of, what it kind of reminded me of was like, you remember in the late 90s when Jean-Claude Van Damme tried to reinvent himself as like a Lothario and like a romantic actor?
Yes.
It was like that. It's an action movie, but it was marketed at women. It's like, but look at Ryan Gosling's wall-eyed ass with his shirt off. Hey, ladies, come see this action movie you're not interested in. I think that's one of the reasons it flopped.
Yeah. It did, and that and Furiosa like freaked a lot of people out, and I just think there was too high expectations for both those movies because one of them didn't have Mad Max in it. It was called a Mad Max saga.
Right.
He was in it for a hot second. He was in it for like a fake Mad Max was in it for a hot second, but that was about it. Then he was gone. Then he was gone. Hey, speaking of repurposing, because that's all Hollywood is doing right now. We're in the year of sequels and prequels and repurposing. We have the King repurposers have released a trailer today. The Rings of Power. It's coming. It's back. They had a panel today at Comic-Con that I missed because you don't need to go to Hall H anymore because whatever they show in Hall H will be on the internet within seconds.
Huh.
I missed the. I'm sure the great interviews with J.D. Payne and Patrick McKay. The two Tolkien scholars who promised to honor the lore, just not in any particular order, and then make up a bunch of shit. Oh,
how long is this trailer? Oh my goodness,
dude!
Oh my goodness, 4 minutes.
So for one, Celebrimbor, who's a fucking retard in this show, who didn't the master smith who knew nothing about alloy. Like, think about that.
You put these two together, you say?
What? What?
Can you make sure it's on? Is it on HD? It looks blurry.
No, it's supposed to start out. It's supposed to start out this way because it's supposed to remind you of Return of the King, and it's supposed to remind you of Lord of the Rings.
And I know you're on probably your laptop, whoever's sharing that, but I did pull the it's right now. It's got 7,600 downvotes to 8,300 upvotes, so it's about to be ratioed already.
Yeah, I was. Here we go. Well, because the Rings of Power bots, fans will come out and praise it, and then like. The Tolkien people will go, wait a minute. Once you see like the lore raping that goes on in this, remember, this is a show that they wanted to have a Walter White journey for Sauron. And that quote comes from Simon Tolkien, not even Amazon, Simon Tolkien.
Wow.
Christopher's son is the one who wanted that. And then there's a troll who is based on Mike Ehrmantraut from fucking Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul.
God. And
They need to stop this,
they're giving Celebrimbor an apprentice woman jeweler.
Yes, a woman.
They've literally called jeweler in a foreign language.
Yeah, so I guess her name translates into jeweler, and she will recognize that Celebrimbor is being a fucking idiot, and she'll like take over for him, and she'll be the girl boss, and oh god, just watch the trailer because. All right, so Anatar, the Lord of Gifts, is Sauron. That should have already happened in season 1. That should have happened in season 1. It took a long time to make the rings, to craft the rings. There was a lot of test rings that they did that were considered, that were just basically theories in the craft, and they just went ahead and made the three best ones until the One Ring. Like automatically first. They didn't like build up to it or anything. And it's supposed to be Anatar who's there. Instead, they had Halbrand, some human dude, but they decided to like, hey, let's put that story in anyway, even though we've already told it. So the same actor is going to come back with a wig and nobody's supposed to recognize him. By the way, this is Sauron, the shapeshifter who can turn into fucking werewolves and vampires and shit. And
instead, now he's Sting with the Sting mask on.
Yeah.
If a guy comes walking out of fire towards you, maybe don't trust him. Like that's probably a good thing for life. That if a guy literally walks out of satanic fire, he might be up to no good.
Might be the bad
firefighter.
Well, I don't know that Matt Walsh
hopefully put it out
trailer makes me think maybe they might believe because he just puts on a wig.
Some people are that
like,
stupid.
Oh, yeah.
I know that.
Oh wait,
funny.
Just wait for it. So,
okay, ready?
I'm ready. Let's go.
Yeah,
4 minutes. What the hell?
Yep.
Really? There's no sound.
Yep.
No sound.
That's probably better.
That's
probably
okay.
better.
Yeah,
That's probably better.
It's got up a point.
That's probably the best.
All of
way
this
to watch
fucking
this.
setup.
Firefox.
We'll get back.
I'm not a very smart man.
Again, every
but I know
time,
what
every
love
time this
is.
happens,
But
I'm just know that Ryan's not going to quit Geeks and Gamers because as much as I fail over there, it's never as much
So
as we fail.
we don't have writers anymore. We have repurposers. That's why in the Acolyte, the climactic scene is just a repurposed scene of the throne room from Return of the Jedi.
Right.
Because that's what they build to. It's like, what can we reuse? Right. And these hacks at Amazon only have access to the appendices, but they can repurpose stuff from Lord of the Rings, but they can't redo it. So they have to slightly change it. And we're seeing more of that. So and they're repurposing shit from the movies, not even from the books, from the movies, which is even lazier. So again, a show written by two guys who have half of a credit on a bad Star Trek script, who were let go from bad reboot, who weren't good enough for Jar Jar Abrams.
That's a lot of that going around, dude. Look at the prior credits for the guys doing Daredevil, Born Again.
Yeah. Oh, the writers. Yeah. It's like, oh.
They did an episode of Young Sheldon one time.
Yes, they did.
Like, oh, wow. That's fantastic.
Everybody's like, this is going to turn around. It's like, no Drew Goddard, no Steven tonight. Yeah, I don't think so.
By the way, if he changes characters completely when he wears a wig, is he like the freaking Lord of the Rings equivalent of like Garth Brooks when he did the wig?
Yeah,
Chris Gaines. Yes.
It's this dark Garth Brooks moment.
Oh my God, I remember that.
Where's the fucking trailer?
So I've got Firefox doesn't have audio sharing, so I have to switch to a different browser.
Do you want me to do it? Yeah.
I'm jumping in.
Well, you probably only have one screen, don't you?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. So, Lady Grandmaster, you got to back out.
We'll get
there.
Highly organized.
Girl, Lady Gravemaster, Odin.
So big gulps, huh? Yeah. Well, see you later.
All right.
No.
Yeah, Rings of Power was really trash, huh?
Yeah.
4
You
minutes
guys better
flew by.
start giving the Star Wars show some positive reviews. If that franchise goes away, it's back to giving BJs for Buffalo Nickel for the 7 Mile Bridge. I'm just saying.
So are we waiting for Garrett to come back? He's in the next room. Can I go get him?
Want me to share it?
You went out for some smokes.
Yes, you share it.
All right.
So,
Garrett.
how about the weather?
All right.
How about those
Big
dolphins?
gulps, huh?
Fucking
Highly
goddamn
organized.
Friggin' Firefox. All right.
You got it?
Yeah.
Share,
Okay.
Share. There we go.
Are you going to share it? Who's going to share it?
Enhance.
Enhance.
What you doing?
It's a
Just
mystery
hanging
box.
around.
Testing,
really-
testing.
All right.
It's not
There you
HD
go.
though.
There we go.
There we go.
HD.
Hey!
Full
do it in
screen. Oh my
HD.
God. Full screen.
We finally got an
We
HD.
have the best. This is the best.
What-
Here we go.
it's the best HD.
Sauron sees himself as master of all Middle-earth.
Yeah, by the way,
He
you
seeks
let
to
him
rule
go.
it not only through
Dumb bitch.
conquest, but by bending the minds of
Gandalf.
all its peoples to his own.
It looks like they got the ring from one of those like grabbing machines. Like,
Gumball machine. Yeah.
Yeah.
Plastic.
Yeah.
This is giving me
That means
PTSD.
not armies.
Oh,
it's Doogie Elrond.
In choosing
Hate
to
it
wear
already.
those rings,
do
you
you
have all
want to go
become his
steady?
command.
Gen Z. Elrond.
Oh yeah.
At least Elrond's telling them they're fucking retarded for putting them on.
But like, it's even worse than
That
that.
guy
though.
is capping for real.
She knowingly made them after she knew who he was. She's already his collaborator. It's like way too late for this.
And remember, the logic was, okay, he wanted us to make a really bad ring. The way to solve it is to make 3 of them.
Yeah.
Why? It spreads out the power.
No, 3 is balance. Didn't you know that? That's what he said. He said 3 is balance.
Why didn't the Middle Earth mullet ever catch on? I wonder.
Yeah.
I don't know. It would have been better than this.
It's the Dark Lord on God.
Yes.
Isn't this also law breaking? Because I thought the elves put the rings on not knowing that they were bound to Sauron and that they were screwing everything up. They
hid the 3 once there was the discovery of Sauron, and so they didn't put them on because and once Sauron put on the one ring, so they hid them, and then once the ring was lost, they were able to use them. So.
Apparatus.
But wait, as far as lore breaking, holy shit, this whole fucking thing is lore breaking.
Yeah, Shad, you made a mistake. You read the original books.
Yeah. So and the biggest pisser about that is there was like scholars and professors. Like, I'm not a scholar. I'm not a professor. I've read the fucking books. I'm just a fan. But like they're out pushing for this shit and then doing stuff that Star Wars fans just started recognizing, going to this Tolkien gateway and changing information, basically the Wikipedia, and changing the information to support this fucking show.
Oh yeah, I mean, come on, they're doing it with history. Look what they're doing with Assassin's Creed Shadows.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, but we've got this academic over here whose entire academic treatise and his only source is "Trust me, bro." Right?
Yes.
Like basically, he's literally sourcing himself on Wikipedia.
It was
Yes.
it was his doctoral dissertation, and that's all he has.
Right?
Yeah. Lockley is
So-
full of shit.
Galadriel has been like completely assassinated as a character, by the way.
Oh,
Like
she's
they
awful now. Yeah.
terrible. She is responsible for all of this, and she was the one in the books who like was always like sus of fucking Sauron, like of Anatar. She's like, I don't trust that guy at all. You shouldn't be around that guy. Don't be like, that's all she did. But no, she's the one who fucking practically fucks him and brings him in.
No, Gary,
He's like, please don't take me back there. Horrific things will happen. She's like, no, come with me, bro. I'm not going to let you stay here.
She convinces Sauron to become evil. Unironically, that's her role.
Yes.
The first one. And then she goes and tells them to make the rings on top of that. She is the primary
Razor.
catalyst of all the evil.
What's up?
It's
I
unbelievable.
said sus. Sorry, Chad. I won't do that again ever again. I promise. Razor. So I want to remind you, if you probably didn't watch it because you're smart.
Yeah.
That
I have
Sauron,
things to do, like sit and stare at a wall and respirate. Yes.
Sauron met Galadriel as she was swimming across an ocean.
As you do.
As you do. When you don't want to go into technically heaven, basically, the undying land. She was being
Apparently
sent there.
She was coming over from Cuba.
She was being, yes, exactly. No, so she's swimming back across the entire, pretty much the Atlantic Ocean, the same length, right? And she runs across a ship, which eventually gets destroyed, and she ends up on a raft with Sauron. So they literally ship Galadriel and Sauron on a fucking ship, that
God, this show's so dumb.
And actually,
It's so
that was
dumb.
That was a lot like the Acolyte, where at the time we were like, oh, later in the series there'll be an explanation. Maybe he set it all up. Maybe all of this was part of his master plan to lead. No, he actually it was just random chance in the middle of the ocean.
Dude.
What?
And they
You
damn
can't
near hook
argue with
up.
good writing, guys. I don't understand. What's your issue?
They damn near hook up, and that's just the beginning. And the reason she got sent off by Gil-galad is because she was running around for 1,000 years hunting Sauron without a map. So later in the show, she finds a map.
Gary, technically she saw the map multiple times. She just never turned it sideways.
She never turned it sideways. Yes.
My God.
It's so
dumb.
bad.
They literally have
Woman
a,
was bad
like
at directions. What?
Yeah.
Numenor has a letter explaining Sauron's entire plan that no one bothered to read.
That nobody
And the
remembers.
Targaryen had read though. Like he knew exactly where that thing was.
It's like, hey, that guy who was the henchman henchman to Satan, basically. He wrote out his entire plan, and we have it right now. Let's just not look at it. Okay.
Apocryphal. Sorry, man. I can't get over.
I know you believe this ring is deceiving me, but I believe it is guiding me.
All this may be by his design. These rings may be how he attains power.
I don't even know what that's meant to be. Like a fish is attracted to evil.
Yes,
you can't even have a real fish. That's how cheap the show. Like it's how expensive the show is. They have to CGI the fish in the water. They just can't have a. Oh, it's ridiculous.
You know how hard it is to get trained fish?
That's a good point.
We will discuss the rings once you have answered the question. Who is this man?
He is no man.
I am no
They
man.
just like repurpose the Eowyn line.
Yeah.
Go back. I want to see the color, the ring that's in the water. Can we go back to that? I want to see. It was red, right? Was it red?
Yes.
Was it
Oh,
Narya?
man.
So that's the one.
It's red. Is that red? It's red.
It's red. No, that's the one. What's her face? Why am I blanking on her name? I hate getting old. Rachel. That dude, Rachel Maddow, said that if you change the wording around, it's Aryan. Fucking cunt. Yeah, that's red, right? Yeah, that's red. So that's it.
It's a mood ring.
It's a ring of power.
Oh,
He's
it's a mood
feeling
ring, I thought.
anxious right now.
His power. They
That's
must
kind of
be
a copy
destroyed.
of the
We will
shot from the first movie.
Mm-hmm.
Their hand dipping down in the water and grabbing the ring. Remember that?
Yes, I remember.
discuss the rings once you have answered the question.
Why am I standing in front of a
Who is
screensaver?
this man?
He is no man.
He's a they them.
Avengers.
He deceived me.
So
Barrow-wites.
Very early, like way too early, pre-existing the person who kind of sends them out, or the being that sends them out. Which King of Angmar?
Yes.
But oh well.
What do I call you? A sharer of gifts.
Call me Sauron. Call me Sauron. So that's
Sauron.
it. Yeah, call me Lauron.
I want to see that share of gifts shot
go
where
back-
he's wearing
go back
those
and
like
show it.
googly eyes.
That wig as well.
Go back to the yeah.
This has been one of my questions for a while. Are they allowed to
googly eyes
use
and
the
a
name
nose.
Anatar?
He's
What was that?
Oh, that's a good question.
Are they allowed to use the name Anatar in this?
That's a very good question.
Because I don't think his name appears in the appendices. I don't know.
I can't remember. Chad will find out.
It's not a wig, it's a hair system.
Did he actually walk out of the fire there?
Yeah,
like,
it's just before this bit. He
what is-
literally
you
is
see the fire
standing
in
in
the
the
background?
fire. Yeah, he teleports into that room in the fire, but is what it looks like. Because he walks out and immediately, for a start, don't give yourself your own nickname.
It does.
Right? Bearer of gifts. Yeah, we're going to do a Secret Santa thing. It'll be fantastic.
maybe they're holding off saying the name until the series comes out. But there's certain, like, I know why you bring that up, because they can't use the term hobbits.
Yeah.
They cannot use that term or they would have to buy it from Warner Brothers, and Warner Brothers is probably like, yeah, it's going to cost you a little bit. So
Are you one of those IP distinct half people?
Yes, Harfoots.
Yes.
Yes.
But it is a
Very
case-
diverse.
If something walks out of fire in my room, I'm either stabbing it in the face or running away. I'm not asking its name.
Hey, bro, what's your name, dude?
That's too freaky for me.
What's your pronouns? What's your name?
A sharer of gifts. Our work begins now.
Wait, it already began. You already did it.
yeah. You know how to make the rings. What?
This is a fucking retarded fucking trailer. Fuck this goddamn series. And it's 3.5 minutes?
Why is it a lot?
Who the fuck?
We're not even halfway through.
This is fucking terrible. Like, this is not good. Nothing about this is going to make anyone that was on the fence go, maybe I'll check this out. 3.5 minutes? There's got to be like a minute of like some bullshit, I
Sure,
guess.
just fast forward ahead a little bit. Well, I mean, wait, we
shit.
got to see Tom Bombadil. Hang on.
What are those?
What the fuck is that?
Those were the stand-ins from Snow White. Those were the stand-ins from Snow White.
They're mask wraiths.
No, it's Plo
I have
Koon.
walked across mountains
Sand people.
and deserts to help my friend find his destiny.
Oh, killer! God damn, that's freaking hot.
Oh, look, it's a coven of wizard witches or like some shit, like whatever they fucking make up.
Power of men.
One the fate of the world may
There
depend
they
on.
are. There they are.
Is it my task to stop the fire? Is it my task to face Sauron?
So that's Tom Bombadil. So fake Gandalf is talking. No, before that was Farazan with the Plantier, but that's Tom Bombadil. Who?
That's Tom Bombadil?
He has a West Country accent.
Yeah, apparently Tom Bombadil. Like, apparently, sometime in the future, he like bumps his head and becomes semi-retarded because Tom Bombadil's not really totally in our world or in the world of Middle Earth. He's a higher being and much older being who like just doesn't give a fuck about the actions of men or elves or anything. He's on the power level of an Ent. All right, he's a force of nature. So he's a higher being. So he does it and he's whimsical and he sings and he helps out the hobbits. But now he's going to be, they bring him up at the Council of Elrond, right? They bring him up and say, maybe he should be a ring bearer. Maybe we should give the ring a power to him. And Gandalf's like, no, it wouldn't be a good idea because he'd just fucking forget about it. Like he doesn't concern himself. So he'd be a bad person to give it to. And all of a sudden he's giving advice. He's like a mentor, which is just not the character at all.
It seems like they've taken the interpretation that he knew Frodo was going to succeed, so he intervened only just enough to like prevent the failure at that one moment, and then afterwards he kind of knew what was going to happen. So he can see like the bigger picture, which is why it looks like he's not involved, but it's only because he knows he's not required. So in this, they'll be like, oh no, he actually knows the future and he's intervening because he has to.
Sauron. To try and cheat death might lead to an even greater catastrophe.
Hey, remember those?
Yeah.
I remember.
Diesel will probably one-shot it.
I'm afraid, Durin.
I've contracted diabetes.
Soul in Middle Earth.
Give me Ozempic, Durin.
There's Queen Muriel.
Man,
who was
Tom
fair.
Bombadil's-
No, not so much.
It's almost like this.
Hey, there's Mike Ermintrout.
It's a serious emo version.
What was that? Pause. Sorry, Shad. Go ahead.
I was just saying, Tom Bombadil's this serious, moody, like emo version crap.
Yeah.
I'm not sure you can be serious in a West Country accent. It's not going to come across with the right tone at all.
Right. He's painting his fingernails black, listening to Depeche Mode.
Yeah.
Cure.
Leave Sauron to me.
That's the bit which you're most supposed to feel sorry for Sauron because he gets betrayed. You're supposed to pity him right at the start.
Adar,
of the
the elf that they made up who created orcs. Fuck this show.
Mm-hmm.
Sauron to me.
Promise me, Elrond. You will not stop until he is destroyed.
Forgiveness takes an age.
Oh,
God.
Was that an
This
ant wife?
trailer takes an age.
Wait, was that his ant wife?
That was
That's an ant wife. Yes, it's an ant wife. They had to get the ant wives in there. They had to do it. There's not enough girls in Tolkien.
But also,
We need more girl trees.
This is going to tell where they went and why they disappeared. I bet they're going to.
They left the men because they're stupid.
I don't
That's
care
why
what I don't care what anyone says. Susan Sarandon still looks great.
Yeah.
Age. I need your axe, old friend.
Give me the beat.
What?
And give it to
I
me
need
raw.
your ass. I need your ass, old friend.
What?
Give me the beat and give it to me raw.
Give it to me raw.
Truly,
show.
friend, this has been the Lord of the Rings, the Fellowship of the Ring.
Oh
I
no.
need your axe.
fight with me.
He's hiding behind her in that scene.
Spiders, you remember that?
Oh, Shelob. It's Shelob, by the way.
When the darkness falls.
Guy Ladriel.
So awesome.
Who rises for?
Clearly misses that
Don
guy's head with the
Lemonless.
arrow, by the way.
Don Lemonless is back.
Don Lemonless returns.
You will give me the 9.
Oh, God. So we're getting the fall of Region, like in season 2. Okay.
Well, that looks like
Enough.
complete epic trash.
You gotta wait for the second. There's gonna be another clip or something.
What there is?
Probably.
Some of the 20 seconds. Gosh.
Boom, boom.
Usually they'll drop another little clip at the end. Okay.
No.
Nothing. This is how
Like,
they
share,
got.
subscribe.
This is how. This is how
You think they have
forced.
this kind of effort in this show?
Yeah, yeah. This is how they forced Biden out. They're like, we're gonna make you watch this
Yep.
series unless you step down. And he was like, I'm done. I'm done.
I'm done.
Halfway
Jack.
through the trailer, L. Ron is just like, look, we beat Medicare.
That gave me like PTSD for how many memories it brought back of Rings of Power. It's like I had forgot about that half-foot stupid god. And then they're showing all the characters we hate. And it's,
Old friend, I need your ass. Give it to me raw. I can't wait.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had pushed
Now we
that
got-
to the darkest corner of our
got a
minds,
month.
and now just brought it all back.
Thanks.
You got a
Gary.
month.
Just
You're welcome.
I just saw a movie that I enjoyed. I just watched Cobra Kai season 6.
was in a
That
good
wasn't,
mood.
you know.
Having a
So
good
I was,
time.
you know, and then
Did you finish season 6 or the first part? What'd you think?
Yeah, it's okay. I don't know where they're going with. I don't want to add any specifics. There's a certain character that seems like they're rewriting some stuff about that character. And I don't know what their goal is there, but the last 2 episodes kind of find its footing. But it's okay. The first 5 episodes are fine. It didn't blow me away, but yeah, there's a story decision to go back and retroactively rewrite some things about a character, and I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? What are you doing? So we'll see how that all plays out. But it's Cobra Kai. It's retarded fucking karate fights just breaking out for no fucking reason and no police and no authority and that's the world, you know. So it's good. I'd give it like a 6.5 probably, like the first 5 episodes. It's not like the greatest thing ever, but it's still Cobra Kai.
I feel so out of place. I like just finished watching Wanted Dead or Alive and freaking Farscape. Like what?
Farscape is classic.
Farscape's brilliant. Yeah.
I would use the Billy Madison meme on you. Stay here as long as you can and cherish it. That you haven't seen all this bullshit. Cherish it.
That's what you do. You watch the old stuff. I've been watching Next Generation with the kids and classic, Rurouni Kenshin anime and stuff like that. The stuff that's good. And we got on disc, and it's good stuff. You don't need this crap.
No, you really don't. But we watch it anyway, and it makes us appreciate the older stuff.
Mm-hmm. It does.
There's Farscape is one of those things where you could just go back. It's a very comfortable, good place to go with great storytelling that was cut short. I remember the day that was canceled. This was before they kind of wrapped it up quick with the Peacekeeper Wars. But man, the people in the shop were fucking pissed.
I was massively pissed when they canceled it.
Yeah,
it was a good ending. The Peacekeeper Wars, I wasn't much for the first half, but the second half was basically all action. It was great.
I mean, we at least got an ending, right? That was like the main concern with Farscape, is not actually getting a conclusion to the story. So it's like, I'll take what I can get.
They did continue it, or what was it? Didn't they like publish an unfilmed season in comic book form? I think.
I think they did.
And literally wrote it.
There was a Kickstarter of comics recently. I don't know if that was it or not. Yeah.
And I've heard it's very good, actually.
There you go. All right, let's get soups.
Gary, don't you like how we get Cobra Kai just gave us the worst of both worlds? No binge and no.
Dude,
that is the worst release.
It is fucking terrible. It is absolutely either binge or don't binge. Either binge or weekly.
Actually, 30-minute fucking episodes too. Like,
I know.
What is the release schedule of the?
It's 5 episodes, 3 parts, and 5 episodes that's spanning all the way until 2025. Yeah,
I think if you do it right, you can do the 2-part one. Like, as long as you structure the season to have a good like ending of the first half. That's probably what you do with Stranger Things. Stranger Things is probably going to be a 2-part drop. And if they structure it right with a good cliffhanger or whatever, then you could still maybe keep people energized for the second half of the season.
But like with Stranger Things, at least those were like hour and a half long episodes, you know. So they had some meat on the bone there where you got nothing on this 30 fucking minutes. Go ahead, Ryan.
Yeah, whereas Cobra Kai, you can't do weekly release for Cobra. I just don't feel like you can do weekly releases for these streaming shows that are basically like 22 minutes long, right? Even though we literally spent our entire fucking lives watching comedy shows that are 30 minutes long on a weekly release schedule, just the way that people consume it now is a little bit different. And so when you are doing these overarching stories through an entire season like that, it feels like you can't do episode by episode. But this is the worst of both worlds.
It's why Game of Thrones or House of the Dragon, like, you're getting so much. I mean, again, I'm not watching House of the Dragon, but I understand it's the same kind of template as Game of Thrones. You're getting so much in that episode. You know, it works.
Those are all hour-plus episodes.
Yeah. There's so much to that.
Invincible season 2, I think it was an hour-plus episodes or something like that. And I forgot about the second half because
they killed the momentum with splitting the release of that. It died after. And look, season 2 wasn't terrible. I enjoyed it, but yeah, I completely forgot about it because they split the release on that.
It was like a 2 or 3 month gap. Well, 3-month gap, I think it was between the two of them.
Yeah.
By the time it
Do you
rolls
know why
around
they
for
did
4
that?
episodes.
It was so dumb. I don't know why they did.
Well, yeah, I watched Cobra Kai in like an afternoon, and then that's it. And then we get more in November or something like that. And it was all set up. That's all it was. It was just setting up the rest of the season, which is a little longer, but broken into 3. It's stupid.
The first 3 episodes were really not great. The last 2 were fine, but the first 3 episodes
together at the end.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of these streaming services and a lot of these shows haven't really cracked like the one true way to actually release a show, because it just seems like they skip around all over the place. And they're even doing that with movies. Although, like Horizon, you and me, Gary, were talking about this, how it kind of felt like the pilot for a TV series, a really long one, just came out, and it's like #1 on streaming. So it's like, but it was kind of a TV show anyway. It was just in movie form. So I think that's almost the best place to put it. It'll probably make money over there.
I think the story, but like, the story behind it is funny because it's a giant fucking ego battle between Taylor Sheridan and Kevin Costner, and they both have massive egos.
Right.
And I think Kevin Costner's like, I want to make a movie. I want to make this cinematic. And I get that. And it is like, it's visually great. Story-wise, they set up a bunch of characters. They kill one of the best ones. Sorry to spoil, but they kill one of the best ones. But I was into it. I was into it enough to where, okay, if this was like 1 hour, if it was 3 1-hour episodes, I'd be totally into this right now. So I think that's how they should break it down, honestly, because I didn't hate it. I liked it. I was like, this is ridiculous. I don't know half the characters' names. I don't know where I am part of the time. Kevin Costner's character's name isn't mentioned until like an hour and a half into the movie.
He isn't even in the movie till like an hour.
Yeah.
He doesn't even show up.
But it's a Western, and it's, got a soft spot for him. So there you go. Take Me to Middle Earth for 50. Says New Rings of Paler.
First one. Nice.
New Rings of Power trailer dropped. People saying it looks better than season 1. Yeah, that was the first 10 comments until you get down further in the comments, and I'm like, what the fuck?
You know that trailer would have been ratioed within seconds if people still cared about the show.
Yep.
I think it's mostly a function of people just don't care.
Yep. Oh, it's going to be Wheel of Time season 2. Like, it pissed off all the Robert Jordan fans, right, Shad? And then by season 2, like, everybody was out. There's like, fuck this. This is dumb.
No one gave a crap on season 2. So it'll be interesting to see the momentum and interest in terms of the reviews after the fact.
We'll see if Rings of Power gets that 5 seasons. It's commissioned for like that. That's they have to produce it, or I mean, the Tolkien estate gets the money anyway, whether they make it or not. They might cut their losses. I'm guessing after season 3, they cut their losses, or they turn it into season 4 and 5, and the seasons are 3 episodes each. And they just spread it out that way.
And they still spend the same amount of money.
Sorry, but pretty visuals and random decent quotes I didn't see any. I didn't hear any random decent quotes at all.
You think that was sterling dialogue? No, he is no man.
He is no man. He's ma'am. Don't convince. That would actually make more sense in this show.
Yes.
Don't convince me that the spirit of the series will be anything good. High fantasy uplifts the soul. This stuff just disappoints. Well, it's made by a bunch of people who just don't understand heroism, good and bad, or Tolkien. In a town that's that is antithetical to his entire belief system.
Oh yeah, look, they're adapting a story inspired by stuff like Beowulf, and they've never read Beowulf. Like, let's just be real. That's it. They've never read any of the epics and stuff that inspired Professor Tolkien when he was writing any of this stuff. They don't even understand like the DNA of it.
I was supposed to read it in high school. I didn't.
Yeah.
Beowulf or Lord of the Rings?
Yeah, Beowulf.
Beowulf is fantastic.
Really?
Ryan,
all right. Maybe I'll go back.
Go read it. 50 euros from Ryan, the European
Kindle?
Ryan.
No.
Wow, Ryan, how generous of you.
Thanks, Ryan. Anyone watch the new series, Those About to Die with Anthony Hopkins? If so, is it worth watching? I checked out the first episode and I didn't hate it.
Haven't seen
That's my review.
You want to wait until Gladiator 2? No. I'm turgid at the prospect.
Even my wife, we were going to see Deadpool 2, and she saw a poster for it, and her immediate reaction was, "There's gonna be a Gladiator 2."
Were the two trailers?
Gladiator 2 back to back with Mufasa.
And we're like, what world are we living in where this is like the
timeline?
I'm in disbelief. It's called Gladiator 2. Right?
Yeah.
This is like the first sequel in how many years that got to just have a 2 at the end of it.
I know.
It's not Gladiator Armageddon.
Or Gladiators.
It's not that.
Gladiator.
Yeah. Yes.
Like Lawrence of Arabia 2. Like,
but those about to die is on Peacock, so I don't know how many people have that and know about it at all. But yes. Jay Cha-Cha for 50. I just want to follow up on the backers comics from the Badlands. When will those be shipped? Hail to the Fellowship and hail to Raz0rfist. How's the book going, by the way?
They're shipped right now. Yeah, they're shipping right now. All the big combos with the big the signed poster from me and George, and the color hardcover, and I think it comes with the black and white soft cover. I can't remember exactly what all's in the big combo, but they're going out. I'm retweeting them as people are posting them. So it just takes a while because it's thousands and thousands of comics. We did really, really well on that. So
hell yeah.
Now we're going to be launching the color mass market version, which is up for order right now. I don't know if you guys have the link or whatever, but yeah, that's available now for people who missed out on the campaign.
We will find the link and put it out there.
So black and white version is already on Amazon, but and the color will be up on Amazon in the next couple of days.
Nice.
The odd one, 1993 for $49.99. Longtime lurker. Oh shit! Nope. Where is it? There it is.
There we go.
There it is.
Got it.
I'm on. Damn it! I always got my buttons mixed up on the road. I'm a master control operator at my local PBS station. I'm sorry. The Communist Television Network. Yeah. Any predictions on how long my job is going to last with PBS always begging for money from 80-year-olds and BBC's programming? P.S. Long live the Silverback. Who's the Silverback?
Who's that?
Who's that? I don't know.
Michelle Obama.
Big Mike. What? Big Mike.
Too soon.
Big Mike. Not long. I don't know. It depends on who becomes president.
They have been begging for money for literally from the
my
first
entire
time
life.
I ever remember watching that channel. They've been begging for money. However, all of their donors are dying. So
they are dying, and they that channel used to be filled with great old BBC programming. That's how I watched Doctor Who and all that good stuff and Faulty Towers, but not anymore. Now it's just begging. I don't even know what's on PBS anymore. I don't care.
Antiques
Zach
Roadshow. 8 hours of Antiques Roadshow.
As soon as they made Cookie Monster eat vegetables, what the fuck?
It's all over.
It's over.
Don't forget the AIDS Muppet. Which, by the way, how does a Muppet get AIDS? Can you ever tell them that?
Do you really need to ask?
Is that real? Is that actually a thing?
That is real. That is real.
Yes, he was.
That's why they don't have gay puppeteers anymore.
Wow.
God.
He was eating bush meat of other Muppets or something.
Yes.
As a puppet, he
needles.
does take things up the rear end a lot. So.
When did it
that is
become
a
Avenue Q? Gosh.
That Muppet is 5 years old.
Oh no.
Who remembers the Electric Company?
Yeah.
Who's old enough to remember the Electric Company?
I'm old enough.
Okay. Morgan Freeman came from the Electric Company.
Yeah, that's right.
Spidey Super Stories came from the Electric Company.
1, 2, 3 Impact. What was that?
Wait, is that back when when they just had one company for all utilities in America? What is that?
Yeah, it was called a monopoly. Yes, back when they had Bell Telephone. I remember when they had Bell Telephone. When there was one company.
Now we just call that Amazon.
Now we just call it Amazon. It's a different name. Zach Muffin, 2 parts for $120. Hail, Zach. Missed you a lot, but I'm having a great time here in Little Italy. Oh, you're in San Diego. All right, San Diego. To Ryan, courtesy of Mike Faith, down by the USS Midway, 2 sailors got out to sea and only one couple comes back.
That's specifically referencing submariners, but yes. 200 men go down, 100 couples come back up.
There you go. You can go to the Midway here and go visit the Midway. It's pretty cool. I've seen it. To X-Ray Girl.
I've never been on a ship before. It's very cool.
It's
if you've
very
been on
cool.
a ship and your family comes down and wants to go
You
there,
don't give it
it's the
shit.
in the fucking
Yeah.
world.
Well, no, it's like, hey, let's go see Alcatraz. It's like, no, you guys can go. I'm good. I've been inside a prison. It's not fun. X-Ray Girl. No hard feelings. You're a pretty cool cat because you are what you eat. Haha.
Wow. First, I thought it was a lesbian joke. Then I realized it was an Asian joke.
I mean, it checks out. It's funny because it's true. For the record, the Mr. T is a badass, not some bling-wearing bitch from Hollywood. Navy SEAL MC underwent demo ops in Nam, Bronze Star, and Purple Heart. The A-Team Pretender can pound sand for stealing the name. There you go. I like Mr. T.
You trash
Both
talking
of them.
Mr. T?
Yeah.
I pity the fool.
I pity the fool. Freaking A-Team was awesome, man.
Yeah.
Andre CR on the Streamlab side for $69.69. Jimmy. I love how in the new Rings of Power trailer, Guy Ladriel says to Celebrimbor, do you think you just fell out of a coconut? Do you think you just fell out of a coconut tree? You exist in the context of all which you live and what came before. You are unburdened by what has been. Literal chills. Hail to 199. That's going to be the comment. Dude, the comment section for the Rings of Power trailer, I don't know if that's where it started, but once people started figuring out getting banned, just going in there going, this is shit, and just started to clown them, and it kept them from getting banned. That was beautiful. That was like glorious.
I think that was where it started, because at first everyone was repeating the same quote, so they started banning them all as bots. So then people started variating their own comment, and so I think that's where it was.
Oh my god, the comment section was so good. I was laughing.
What's the black elf dude? Freaking Bilbo Obama or whatever his name
is.
It's
Don Lemons.
Don Lemons. Fantastic.
Yeah. What was this girl's name again? Disparu? She's dead. She dead.
I think it was began with an N. I keep thinking of Navi, but it wasn't that.
No, she was
the girl boss.
Yeah, she was the girl. Well, she slayed 2 orcs. She was the healer. She was the dispensary owner in Middle Earth.
Did she die in the show?
Bronwyn, yeah. Bronwyn dies. Yeah, because the actress wanted to fuck out. So she
dies.
left.
She's now like protesting somewhere.
I know she probably is. Yeah.
No, she is. Like genuinely, she went back to her home nation and started protesting women's rights.
Yeah.
She wants to be an activist. Go for it.
Yeah, in Iran. I mean, that kind of takes
actually relevant. Yeah.
That's actually kind of ballsy.
Actually takes courage. Unlike the ones that do it in the United States.
Andrei Medaleski for 20 Czechoslovakian pesos. Brett, the Raz0rfist heart. There you go. Does have a little bit of that look. It's not bad.
The excellence of elocution.
Yeah. Louise C for $20. Raz0rfist is here. That's 20% of Phoenix population. I miss the old state. Hell, there you go. I was in your state. I was in Tucson though. Tucson.
Really?
Lovely Tucson.
Voluntarily?
Volunteer. Well, yeah, I had to stay overnight somewhere. Okay. So I stayed there.
Make contact with a drug dealer or illegal alien, something.
Oh, it's downright clean compared to the shit I'm seeing in California. But don't worry, Californians will finish invading your state. And
it'll come over. We'll get there. Yeah. We'll get there.
Do you like how Gavin made all homeless encampments illegal?
Yeah.
During an election year.
Time to sweep the streets.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Maybe Xi Jinping or whatever his fucking name is, that commie bastard from China, is coming to the state. I mean, that's why he's doing it.
It's never for the reasons why it should be. It's always for something else.
Of course.
Well, it's problem, reaction, solution. It's the problem he fucking created. Yep. In San Francisco, he was giving homeless people $400 a month cash. Yeah. They would come and get cash, and they go right down the street and get the free needle, and they can get high.
Mm-hmm. Anything you incentivize, you get more of.
Yeah, so it increased. It increased. Oh, so I was going to say it increased the. Well, Chris called it the homeless industrial complex, right? So it increased the homeless population, and now cities get paid per head. So that's why you'll have a more accurate count of homeless people than actual citizens because they get paid per head now. Sorry, go on.
Wow. They want us all homeless.
Well, yes.
It's only fair he wrings out hobos for his hair grease.
That's true.
Fair enough.
I hate that guy, man. I fucking hate Gavin Newsom.
He's awful.
I just think it's wild they thought he was going to run for president. It's like the guy who was recalled in California twice? Really?
Twice?
You think he's going to play nationally? Okay.
The guy who just signed a bill that said teachers aren't allowed to tell parents about their kids transmissioning. That guy's not going to win. Kamala. She's super popular according to Twitter.
Ugandan giant.
Especially with Gen Z.
Ahead in the polls.
I understood that reference, Razor.
Yeah. It's Brat Girl Summer.
Beefy 5-layer husbando for $5. All hail the ivory slab with the gift of gab, Raz0rfist. There you go. Hey.
The slab.
Ivory slab with.
I'm actually African American behind this black and white filter.
Oh, there you go. Eat my slamage for €5. Shad, the emu auction actions are justified. Your people are descendants of criminals and squatters. From the outback to the seas, emu Stein will be free. Emu Stein will be free. From the outback to the sea.
He's not wrong.
What did the emus do to you to win?
Man, on that note.
Oh, wow.
Hi, Odin.
Bye, Odin.
He didn't say on that note, so.
Jesus. Chris Fredericks for $9.99. Got around to watching Three Body Problem and loved it. Surprised no one else is talking about it. Has anyone seen it? I did, and I talked about it when we watched it.
Yeah, I watched it.
I did, and I didn't care for it.
Yeah, there's. Go on.
Right.
Is that it? You can say more if you want.
It was all right.
Okay. I thought it was fine until the end. It kind of fell apart at the end for me a little bit. But it looked really expensive. There is a scene that makes more that's more shocking than anything in The Boys. Cheers from North Country. They did do a proper struggle session in the beginning.
They did. That part was good.
That part was really good. Young Wheeler for $5. L movie. We never got an explanation for why Thor was crying and holding Deadpool.
We will.
That's for Secret Wars. Yeah,
That's
they're leaving that
100% going to happen.
Yeah. The Singing Tigs for $5. No time to watch before FNT sailed the high seas. Missed the end credit scene. Overall, very entertaining. Story lacking. D-Day Cobra is D-Gay Cobra Command.
The end credit scene was funny, but if you missed it, it's not that big a deal. It was literally just Deadpool proving that he didn't make up all the stuff about
Flame
the
on
Captain America guy.
Yeah.
Not Human Torch.
Yeah. It was funny though, the way he read it all out.
Absolutely.
Anonymous on the Streamlabs side for $20 says, saw Deadpool and Wolverine with my 16-year-old godson, Sean. Shout out to Sean. He knows nothing of Deadpool. He loved it. We laughed so much. I hope this sparks his interest in the past X-Men and such. My personal favorite. Hail. Yeah, there's some good X-Men out there. There's some really dog shit X-Men out there too. Okay, let's be real. Let's be real.
Yeah, but like Phase 4 and Phase 5 been having us begging for the 2000-ish era of comic book.
I know, dude. Yeah. No, you're not wrong with that. Like, this is as far as Marvel putting out stuff, this is their second decent movie that they put out since Endgame. Like, the Guardians 3 and this.
It's
Everything
weird
else.
because we think of those Phase 1 Marvel movies as like a giant compromise. This movie even made fun of it, right? Oh, he's actually wearing a superhero outfit, like he's not embarrassed to be in a comic book movie or something. That was like a joke in the movie or whatever. And yet you look back at some of those movies and they just straight up hold up better, like Spider-Man 1 and whatever. Just some of them, not all of them, obviously. Daredevil, right? Not all of them. But some of them, hold up a lot better than the recent stuff that's supposed to be so comic book accurate, which is not, by the way. Like, they're just as embarrassed to be comic book movies, some of them.
Yeah, especially with the downgrading costumes. Like, Marvel has just gone with these like fucking repurposed motorcycle, leathers.
Right.
That,
and with the piping, can we get more piping, please? Can we have it look like a subway map of Tokyo? I don't understand.
What did he say to Gambit? He's like, "Are you like Hawkeye, but an actual superhero or something?" That's what says.
Sith Cake for $5. The Acolyte pitch meeting was effing hilarious, and he didn't have to exaggerate anything. Oh, I haven't seen it. I'll watch it.
No, it's good. It's good. He doesn't.
Long live Arizona. Okay, that's what we're talking about. WG for $20. Deadpool and Wolverine. Finally, a Marvel movie that is deliberately funny. Haha, that's a good point. Savvy's Greek feet. What's going on with that?
That's some G&G lore right there.
All right.
Hail, Madam Savvy.
Did she show her feet? Like, what the chat does when somebody shows their feet?
They all masturbate.
Yes. Well, they're already they're still pissed off that she's married. So they're like, "What the fuck is this bitch showing up for in our stream? She's married. Get the fuck out of here."
Yeah. First mistake on the internet as a woman.
Exactly.
Let everyone know you're in a relationship.
Yeah, don't do that.
Bad move. Deep Pan for $4.99. CNN reports that Ryan's Mountain Dew fell after a loud noise was heard. Kayan Kurji for 1,000 Martian pesos sent this question to Raz0r a couple of times, so I don't know if you read it before. Continental Op and Sam Spade are based Giga Chads, and Philip Marlowe is a simp who lets women get away with murder.
You stop that. Philip Marlowe, definitely. He puts girls in the friend zone all the time. That's not
true. Yeah.
But the cool thing about the Continental Op is it's basically autobiographical, right? A lot of people don't realize that. Yojimbo, right, is based on Red Harvest, the book by Dashiell Hammett. Dashiell Hammett was in the Pinkerton agency as a detective.
Yes.
Red Harvest is literally about him as a Pinkerton detective getting caught in a gang war. It's an autobiography. A lot of his stories are.
My wife's salon.
He was a filthy commie in real life, but that was later on.
And that's why he gets a name, a street named after him in San Francisco. This is Dashiell Hammett
Right?
Street. Yep.
He wrote the same kind of pulp stories Raymond Chandler did, except his aren't as good. But because he was a commie, literary critics loved him and hated Chandler. Right?
Yep.
That's how it works.
War Brer for $2. Jeremy is the only gay that matters. $1.99. No, He's not the only gay. I mean, he's up there.
Dan?
You know,
What about
he's an
Dan?
important gay. But yeah, what about don't forget Dan. Don't disrespect Dan's gayness like that. Okay, his gayness matters too. Rick Cox for $10. Major mini Leia vibes running through the forest on the last House of the Dragon episode when Alicent and Helena were trying to escape the crowd. Looked like the FBI were doing the edits and cuts. Very sketchy. I was. I just watched The Acolyte, so maybe that helps House of the Dragon a lot. But the last episode was like the weakest of the season, but it was still good till the end. There's a character with plot armor starting to fucking bug the shit out of me. So we'll see if that continues. Hardcore Buddy for 2 Canadian pesos. Any pesos? What the fuck? Any thoughts on British comics? Any thoughts on British comics aside from 2000 AD?
I mean, some of them are good. Titan is putting out some pretty good
Yeah.
stuff. Their Conan is really good. I'm not wild about the Solomon Kane stuff in it, but the Conan stuff is awesome. And they bring over a lot of other European books too, like French and German book. They translate a lot of them. So yeah, Warrior magazine back in the day. Did you ever read Warrior?
I did not read Warrior magazine.
I think V for Vendetta was originally published in Warrior, wasn't it?
It probably was.
Some of that stuff is awesome. Some of Warrior magazine is boss, but yeah, I like British comics a lot.
I did too. What I read, what I got to see. It was awesome going to France and going to a proper 2 comic stores in France. That was fucking brilliant. Couldn't understand half the shit in there, but it was awesome. Yeah. They need to translate more French comics over here. That'd be great.
Somebody needs to crack the code like they did with manga in the 90s, where it's like, okay, we just steer into the fact that it's different and then sell it in America in English. And there you go. They don't do that with French comics and German comics and Italian comics, even though they're awesome and they're very, very different. They just kind of translate them randomly and mix them in with American books and hope you can't tell the difference.
Right.
I can tell the damn difference. The art is 1,000 times better. Like, stop.
I bought a stack of Italian comics. I can't understand a word of it, but the art is spectacular. It's so fucking cool. So I was in the airport in Sicily and just bought a bunch.
They got a bitchin' Nosferatu comic. They make the only good Disney comics right now, like Mickey Mouse, and it's crazy the art in these books. Dude, you got to check out Italian books if you haven't, and German, and gosh, even Finnish. Speaking of which. We got a Scandinavian localized version of Ghost of the Badlands, and we might be getting a Japanese and French.
Brilliant.
We might be getting it translated in Japan.
I hope they can finish reading it.
She's a professional, folks. Don't try this at home. Okay.
I love you,
Razvan.
It's okay.
Razvan for 25 Rons. Yo, Razor. Did you like Gojira during the Olympic opening ceremonies? Did anybody? I didn't see. I know the Olympics are going on.
There's clips.
The band Gojira played during the Olympics? What?
There's a lot of clips going around right now with the Olympics that are not great. So.
Yeah, it's fucking demonic. They've got a bunch of trans drag queen degenerates.
Oh no shit!
It's really bad. It's really bad.
Revelation, pale horse, Antichrist, like galloping across the water. It's
really bad.
Actually demonic.
Wow. Really? Wow. Find the clips. Let's take a look. We could look at that on Rumble in a second. So. When I was in France, they were setting up for that was last year. It's been a year, Shad. We got to go back, man.
I know, man.
But yeah, they were setting up for the Olympics back then and cleaning up the river to make it swimmable. They were dredging the shit out of it. Yeah. And I guess some politician in France took a swim, had a little swim to prove it's okay. Right. Better check on her health, by the way.
Made him smell better. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, okay. It is for that one stereotype, Razor, absolutely true. 100%. Holy crap. Whoa, bro, for $19.99. Have to miss my first FNT in a while to see Deadpool. A lot of people, that's fine. My one wish is that Nelson Peltz and Ike Perlmutter make cameos, helping Deadpool make fun of this disaster of a universe. Too much to ask. Either way, hail. Well, the stock went down before the movie went out. It went below 90 for a minute. So
I think that has a lot more to do with the story about Ike like Ike Perlmutter selling off
his stock,
$1 billion or whatever it was.
No,
over,
that,
over the past couple weeks and months.
None of that, but wasn't there like a Disneyland strike too, and some other stuff that came out like just in the last couple of weeks?
Yeah. There is going to be. I don't know. I think they worked it out, but the Disneyland workers were going to go on strike. But I think there's a tentative deal. But that means they will go on strike in the future. Like the companies, this is a great. If you're a union, this is your one time to start demanding shit. If you work in entertainment in Hollywood, because they cannot afford any more work stoppages at all. You'll get what you fucking want, except for IATSE, who apparently negotiated a bad deal and fucking AI wasn't even considered in it, so they're fucked.
There was an article the other day though where the moment they signed that deal, all the actors and everyone just started signing their own personal AI contracts.
Yes.
So it wasn't that they had a problem with AI; they just wanted to make sure they got money out of it. Really,
they got money out of it. It was always a matter of controlling it, right? And that's what the lead negotiator, one of the lead negotiators of the WGA, I got to talk to. That's the one thing he said. He's like, "Oh yeah, AI's here. We just, we want control of it." And I'm like, okay, thank you for your honesty.
Big surprise.
And he's also the one who's like, "Oh, we don't care about, we don't care about streaming numbers." I'm like, what? How can you get paid residuals off this? He's all, no, because we're looking for, more front loaded contracts so they can make all, we just want more money up front. But that's what I also found out, that the unions do have access to the streaming numbers, but they just can't share them. So certain union leadership can see actual streaming numbers, which are really fucking low, by the way. And that's why they just got quiet about it. Think of it like Stop Asian Hate. Like it was a very popular thing to bring up until they looked into it and looked who caused it, and then the hashtag disappeared.
Right. Yeah. Well, you'll hear. That streaming numbers can't be that large because they've been factoring them into ratings for TV shows that also stream on services. Yep. The most prominent example, WWE, Raw. Like, people will talk about how whenever you point out the ratings are at all-time lows, the fans generally will cope and say, well, what about streaming? It's like, that's actually factored into Nielsen ratings. It's still all-time lows. You know what I mean? That's how low the viewership is on streaming services. It's not actually that large. Which is why I think Netflix is probably going to opt out of that. What was it? $5 billion deal for WWE Raw for 10 years or whatever ridiculousness that they just signed. I bet you anything after the 5-year opt out, they're probably going to take it.
It really depends on what you're talking about and who's putting the ratings out. Like for linear television ratings, typically they'll come out and they will have the Nielsen ratings included, but then they will actually add in their reporting what the streaming estimates are. Whereas the actual streaming Nielsen ratings are a separate thing that come out typically 4 weeks after it aired, which is why, specifically the HBO stuff, because HBO is still one of the only people that are doing it. They're doing the linear broadcast and release on HBO Max at the same time. So you have those Nielsen streaming numbers on top of the linear television ratings. So yeah, you got to be careful where you're getting your data from.
Yeah.
And it's still mostly, we'll never know. We'll never know how many actual humans watched any of this stuff. You can just don't let your eyes deceive you. Everybody's talking about Stranger Things. Everybody was watching Stranger Things. That's obvious. But Star Trek Discovery, nobody was watching that. What were the numbers like? Probably in the low CWs for a mid-level show, 300,000s, 200,000s, maybe smaller.
Well, how many people they aired? Was it the first and second episode on actual national television? What did it draw? I don't even. I never even heard.
So when Star Trek Discovery, I don't know what the second episode. The first episode premiered on CBS, and you could find that data for a while. It's gone, and it said 8 million people watched it.
That's not bad for a first.
That's not bad. They probably should. They probably should have kept it on network. But the problem is, people would have kept because that was the first episode of a Star Trek show, first Star Trek TV show to be on the air for over 10 years, over a decade. So there was a curiosity factor. But then when they put it on Canadian TV, you could kind of do the math, and it was nothing. It couldn't beat reruns. They did put it on Saturday night on regular TV here, and it couldn't beat reruns. It barely charted.
Yeah.
So, I think Tulsa King right now is on network TV. I wonder how that's doing. I haven't checked. Yes.
Okay. When is we're supposed to get what, season 3 for that at some point?
Season 2 comes out in
2?
a month and 2 weeks.
2 and 2. I'm sorry. Yeah, 2. Yeah. So what, a month and a couple? So less than 2 months. Okay, cool. Looking forward to that.
Yep. Sharp Shadow for $1.99. Give this money to Arizona, and he might come back. Okay, we'll give it to Arizona. No problem. Spartan Bot 1001 for $5. LOL. So a Razor bad dream. Boogie playing Twister. Does that mean Boogie playing Strip Twister would be a nightmare?
No.
Hi.
Boogie fully nude step class. There you go.
Why, dude? If he needed to do it to stay online, he'd do it. So the
thing about Boogie being nude is you can't see anything.
No,
it's all flat.
It's good. It's kind of self-censoring. It's fantastic.
The apron.
Jesus.
Life finds a way.
Well, like Mahler pointed this out, like the South Park episode where I'm blanking on his name. It's the
Randy Marsh.
Randy Marsh is walking around without his pants on and going online. That happened right at the same time. It was basically the OnlyFans one, right? And it happened at the same fucking within 24 hours. Twitch, all those dudes were like dropping their pants and like covering up their dicks on Twitch. Mm-hmm. Like it like South Park can't even beat the parody that is reality anymore. And the fact like Boogie was involved in that, right? Didn't Boogie do that shit? Yeah.
But then he got like, not canceled, but banned because he was accused of actually showing something.
Dude, Randy Marsh has become
wasn't what it looked like.
Randy Marsh has become front and center for South Park. I know it's been a while, but like, remember when the Simpsons, like the early days of the Simpsons, when it was about Bart? That was a long time ago. Right. And then it started focusing on Homer, like after 4 seasons or something like that. Fucking Simpsons been
Frosty
around
chocolate milkshakes.
Yes. Dana's game reviews for $15. Greetings from Seattle. Oh, one of the smart condolences. Yes. Yeah. Thanks for providing a weekly dose of sanity. Hashtag Ultra Mega. God, you must be miserable in Seattle. Holy shit. I'm sorry, dude. Hashtag make hobbies not political again.
Yeah.
Tell that to the corporations who owned them. But apparently it's our fault. Yep. Mm-hmm. Isaiah S for $5. One change to a scene or shot to alter DP3 to your preferences. Go. What? Deadpool 3. One shot that would change it to my
double penetration 3, Gary. It's a Deadpool 3.
Yeah, I was a little hung up on that. I was like, wow. What would I change about it?
Take the TVA out of it.
Take the TVA out. That would be my first step.
Completely, and that will fix a lot of the issues right there.
Or
fuck the TVA.
Make it a Fox TVA, and it just destroys the TVA, and they're never brought up again. Like you just end the TVA. I was fine with him slaughtering TVA agents. I actually enjoyed that quite a bit. I liked, like we're not going to desecrate the message from Logan, and they dig up his fucking body and kill all the TVAs with his bones. I thought that was fucking great. I loved it.
I think the TVA really like creatively limits them what they can do. Yeah.
Well,
it breaks everything because the TVA is such this retarded, overpowered thing that it means that if any character dies, well, you can just bring in something from an alternate universe. They can depower the friggin' Infinity Stones, right?
It's whatever you want it to be.
But then it can't be consistent. It's such a stupid thing to have in the universe overall.
Dean H for $10. Hail to the Fellowship. Gary, I don't know if you're aware of a YouTuber known as Snarky J. I've streamed with her on Open Bar. So I am aware. She does pop culture commentary and does cosplay. I think she'd be great guest for FNT. And she's hot. So I can't imagine why you wouldn't want her on FNT. So there you go. She's also very young. Just want to point that out. Maybe you are too, Dean. Maybe you are too. But 24.
Thanks for joining us, Mr. Beast.
Oh man, that is unraveling fast.
She was cool. She was cool. I streamed with her on an open bar. She was cool. Roger Rubio for $2 was really cool to be in a packed theater again. Yeah, ours was packed, and thank God it was air conditioned, and it didn't smell as bad as Con did. Woo!
Oh man.
Oh man, they started early. Usually it's like a day, but wow.
Cat pissed right when I walked in the door.
Dude, well, I mean, that's what San Diego smells like now too. So San Diego smells like urine, and you go into the
I think urine smells like San Diego at this point.
Josh
Kelsey drops
smells like fat. That's what it smells like. And it smells like fat.
Boogie.
Josh Kelsey drops $19.99 and walks away because that's what Josh does. Thank you, Josh. Simon Ho for 2 Canadian pesos. Gina Carano versus Kathleen Kennedy cage match. Oh, that would be very short. Yeah. I guess it's in our title. Let's bring it up for like a second. Gina, Disney's motion to dismiss was denied. So the trial is going ahead.
Discovery, man. Discovery, baby.
Discovery's gonna be fantastic.
Yeah,
if they don't settle.
What's the discovery period going to be like? What are they looking for?
I would guess
they're going to get access to a bunch of
emails.
That may or could have been involved in all of these different fucking decisions.
Yeah, and if the Sony leaks from several years ago, you remember those? If those are any indication, can you imagine the kind of correspondence that happened before she got fired? Can you imagine?
Jesus, cannot wait.
So is it basically going to be like finding a lot of people talking shit about her and like plotting her demise?
Yeah, I mean, what came out of those Sony leaks? Like that one chick was just straight up SJW preaching in her emails, and like it was just blatant. It was
wow.
Amy Pascal. Amy Pascal like lost her job as CEO because she was talking shit about a bomber or something like that in some of the emails. But on her way out the door, did something really fucking smart and put herself in charge of Spider-Man. So, okay, I won't be CEO, but I'll be in charge of Spider-Man. There you go. Then they brought in Tom Rothman. Holy shit. Let's Beyond Headcanon for 2 parts for $10. Says, Soul, Osha, Rock Bernie and Rick Frody. May, I'm May, a duck. Soul, Ochu, you rise and raise of schism, but no, EC Break Coven, Core EC Break Coven. I don't know what the fuck I'm reading. I'm going to go on. May, I'm May. Coral was my other mom. You look just right. When I find you both vengeance, I check if vengeance May. I need an adult. Soul, I am adult.
Thank you for joining us, Mr. Kojima.
Yes.
Love Metal Gear.
Yes. I correct celebrities. Isaiah S for $2. Will Deadpool 3 be remembered in 20 years?
No.
I don't think you'll be remembered in 20 minutes.
It'll be on a Watch Mojo video.
Yeah.
Joey Medj for $5. Sorry about screwing up your last name there. Awesome meeting you all at the meetup. Hail the 199. It was fun. Yeah, we had a meetup on Wednesday. We chilled out a little bit. It was great. Neil Oakley has gifted 20 Nerdrotic memberships for $100. Hail, Neil. Slick KMZ for $9.99. Hail, watching the trailers before Deadpool and Wolverine and thought I was back in the early 2010s. Nothing I'm excited about, but could imagine going to see if I'm bored. Yes, like Twisters. I'm probably going to go see Twisters because I'll be bored sometime. Maybe not, though. Right. Slick KMZ for $4.99. Seeing the Gambit cameo made me really want a good, dedicated X-Men movie. Well, you won't be getting it from Marvel, probably. Yeah. Just want to point that out. Ari Rom for $20. Hello there. Hello there, everyone. Hope you are all doing well. C Black $4.99. Rumor is Avengers 5. And hello, back to you. Rumor is Avengers 5 will be X-Men Fox versus the Avengers. If they adapt the comic, holy shit, that was terrible. Oh my God. Do you remember that Raz0rfist? It came out right around, it was like my last year in the store. So it was
Avengers X-Men.
Avengers versus X-Men.
Oh, it was. Oh, I got every issue for free. That's how great it was.
Oh,
in the bargain bin, they were just all there. I was like, oh, cool, sweet.
Yeah, that was oh my god, why am I blanking on his name now? The editor that got booted.
Not Quesada, but
Alonso. Axel Alonso. That's it. Yeah,
Alonso.
I brought up that name in a long time. So that was his like first crossover as editor in chief. I fucking hated it so much.
Oh, terrible.
It was terrible. Everybody was out of character. It was fucking retarded. Lance Finn 85 is gifted 5 Nerdrotic memberships for $25. Hail. Judah for $5. I think Hugh Jackman, like Henry Cavill, has enough pull to say no, I'm not doing that. I think so. Well, I don't know if Cavill does anymore. Cavill needs to fire his agent. I don't know. I'm guessing.
Cavill doesn't have any pull. That's the problem.
Yeah.
He has pull with the fans, but he doesn't have any pull in Hollywood, unfortunately. If we were in the 90s, Cavill would be the biggest fucking star on the planet.
Wow.
But yeah, unfortunately, he doesn't have the pull I think we want him to have.
I think he has pull with some hardcore fans, but I don't think you said he has pull with the fans, but not with Hollywood. Yeah. I just don't. When you look at how he was teased for the Black Adam, like Return of Superman and Black Adam, nobody went and fucking saw that. That was a flop. Yeah. He was in that fucking Argyle movie. That was a fucking flop. I just don't think maybe it's the things he's choosing to do or whatever, but I just don't think he's some fucking megastar like we think he should be.
Yeah. I mean, you look how his career kind of started. Not started, but the way he was introduced to the mass audience, because he did some stuff before that. I mean,
right.
The Superman Man of Steel, it's not that great. I know some people
it's fucking
love it,
trash. It's fucking garbage. It's dog shit. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
And then follows it up with Batman v Superman. You know what I mean? Like, not exactly on a roll there. He's been in some good stuff. I feel like he's been good in a lot of really bad stuff.
Agreed.
Yeah. He was in The Witcher, which wasn't about him.
Right.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
Exactly. Who knows? Maybe now that he's going to be kind of showrunner producer of a Warhammer thing, maybe that'll give him a little bit more stock behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Man from Uncle. Watch Man from Uncle.
That's a good spy movie.
That's a good movie.
It should have been fucking Bond, to be honest with you.
Yep. Zalakai for $10. I'm hoping to reach 500 subs on at the Grab Bag by my birthday next week. I got something really silly planned for Sunday. So it's called At the Grab Bag. Help them reach 500 subs. Maybe you should offer to give something away. No, don't. I'm just kidding. Mr. Beast stuff. I watched that. That Garrett was watching it, and I forgot who. Raz0rfist, you shared it, right? You shared the video. So I tried to search that video, and I couldn't find it. Like, it was not on YouTube. It's there, but you have to really look. It's being shadow banned, but
oh wow, many such cases.
many. But yeah, that whole breakdown of not just what's going on with Chris, what's going on with just
his whole organization,
how the organization works. It's interesting. Right. And you're not wrong, Raz0rfist. Every fucking thing has been a scam since, publishers.
Yeah, everyone's like, aha, scam giveaways and sweepstakes. It's like, bro, every giveaway,
every single one
ever entered has been rigged.
Yep.
Okay, put it this way. I have a personal anecdote about this. I worked at a store that did a giveaway. In fairness, they didn't charge money to enter this raffle, so it was free.
Was it McDonald's?
No. The prize was you got to be Marvel editor-in-chief for a day. And
what?
the day comes around and they've got the big bowl full of names and they're literally
I remember this.
Yep. And they draw it and they go, set it aside. Draw another one. Set it aside. They kept drawing until they got this dude who had helped the store get this big celebrity signing, and who had basically monetarily benefit. He had a buddy relationship with the owner of the store and whatever, and he got to go be Marvel editor-in-chief for a day. The whole thing was rigged. And if they're doing that for a neighborhood comic book store, I mean, it is a chain. It was a bigger place. You can imagine. Like, obviously, the McMillions, if you've ever seen that documentary about the McDonald's monopoly, bigger stuff is rigged all the time. It's a giant scam.
Unbelievable.
Just, I don't know, maybe pay attention to what your kids are watching.
I don't know. There was a summer in the 90s where I had to eat 100 tacos to get the Rocky and Bullwinkle shirt at Taco Bell, and I earned that shit. And then my mom sold it for $5 at a garage sale.
Not the hardest $5 you've ever earned.
No.
All right. Rolando A. Ramirez for $20. Hey, guys. Thought the movie was fun. Lethal is mad. Another PDF file isn't being talked about by G&G. Mr. Who's Telexifi?
I don't know.
I don't know. Got caught. Spread the word. I don't know who that is, so I don't know. Love you guys. Hail the fellowship.
There's a bunch of degenerates that do degenerate things. We don't cover each and every fucking one of them. I'm fucking sorry. I guess we cover the ones that come across and they're fucking interesting. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, the last time I covered one, I got age restricted on my channel. So which was yesterday. Shout out.
I heard about that. Yeah. Yeah, don't know who that is.
One thing that you're not going to be very successful on YouTube is covering PDF files. That's not going to be good for your channel. Shocker.
Ask Chris Hansen. How long has he been marching to 1 million subs?
Jeez, well, I mean, it's sad that you can't cover that, especially when they're getting,
right.
But that's YouTube's problem, not ours and Google's. They're being protective of a community, because we're not supposed to associate that kind of thing with a community. But man, a lot of protection. I'll tell a little story.
There's like 1 million fucking channels that are dedicated to every time some random fucking streamer that probably has more people watching us than him play Roblox or fucking Minecraft or some shit is like 25 years old. Turns out he did some fucked up shit when he was 21. There's millions of channels that are dedicated to covering creator drama like that.
Yeah.
All the fucking time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see any of it.
I cover whatever the fuck I want to on my channel. Go fuck yourself. So that's it. Lethal, if that's who they said it. Lethal.
C Black for $4.99. Y'all are crazy. Loki season 2 was amazing. Loki, God of Stories. That I'm crazy because that was not amazing. Thank you, though. It was the opposite of amazing. How many people are talking about Loki season 2? How many people were talking about it after it ended? Zero.
How many of
zero?
I've only heard Daredevil mention it. No, Deadpool.
Deadpool mentioned season 1, right?
Right.
They didn't mention season.
What was it? Season 2, episode 5, or whatever the reference was.
Season 2 because of the creature was from that season.
Right.
Well, I mean,
the creature was in the season 1 too.
Oh,
bro, when he's like, when they fucking from Loki season 1 episode 5.
Yeah. Fitzer for $20 says the soundtrack was fun. The group is being overly whiny. Things can be fun. It was fun. The soundtrack, it's not fun for me. Because I don't like pop music like that.
It was overused. That's my point. It's good, but you play too many songs back to back. You need to have some breaks. It was too much.
Razvan for 25 Rons. Who played Psylocke? Meghan Markle? I'm not kidding. I don't think Olivia Munn played her. They had a lot of they had a lot of fake characters. They had a fake Toad, a Juggernaut.
They brought back Pyro though.
They brought back Pyro. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like all right. Work he's gotten since that movie.
Yes. And 12 Monkeys. Well, he was in Picard season 3 for like a minute. TJ Jordan for $20. Here's to hoping Hugh Jackman's return for Deadpool 3 is going to be his final time as Wolverine, especially after speaking about his fear of overstaying the welcome back when Logan was out.
I mean, he kind of said that. They did say, "I'll see you in the next one." No,
no, he's dead. Yeah, he's like later. TJ Jordan for $5. Just like with Picard season 3 is for Star Trek, Deadpool and Wolverine is more likely going to be the last good thing from the MCU for a long time. Well, I mean, considering the next 2 projects. They completely reshot Captain African American, and apparently it's not good.
Shocking.
I know. This will be shocking. Shocking news. It's not good. Fluggy for $10. Personal favorite moment is when Wolverine put a mask similar to Captain America picking up the Thor's hammer. My theater applauded when it happened. Did this happen in any of your guys? Yes, when he put the mask on, everybody erupted.
I didn't hear that. They didn't applaud, but dude, that mask was great. It was perfect.
Oh, it was fucking great. I loved it.
Yeah, it was great.
You can do that mask so wrong.
Yes.
Like they did it right.
Yep.
I liked it. Piston for €6. My favorite scene in Deadpool and Wolverine was when Nice Pool heroically sacrificed himself for your sins. Question for what is your favorite scene? Favorite
Yeah,
scene.
and he's like, when does he regenerate? Regenerate.
Right. The fucking fight in the van was pretty good.
That was good.
Yeah.
That was
I like first all the Deadpools as well. I mean, they're going through the boss and it's just gore being sprayed all over the windows.
Yeah, it was like Kill Bill levels of blood.
It was great seeing Blade fight again.
Yeah. I mean, when Blade said
skate uphill.
When Blade said there's only one Blade, that's probably my favorite one.
I really like seeing Hugh Jackman shirtless. He looked good. Yup.
Gay?
Not gay.
I like running through the Wolverines, and I did like the fight in the Honda.
In the Honda Odyssey.
How much do you think they paid to have that ad in there?
Oh my god.
Probably a lot.
But if you're gonna do product placement, you do it like that.
You do it like that. And then the
You
blood
make
on
it
the
a joke.
coexist sticker was great. That was
funny.
That was awesome.
I actually liked how Deadpool was just crapping on it massively when it first introduced. It's like,
Yes.
it's like
Man,
all right,
after.
this thing rocks.
Deep trip for 400 yen. Off topic, Gary. Hey, Gary, Ryan, Hot D, episode 6 guy who got his hand chopped. Is it the Shepherd? Holy crap.
Could be, I guess.
I think about that. Yeah.
I haven't heard, but it definitely could be.
Yes. Holy crap. Deadpool killed MCU such a satirical way. Vanessa sucks. Deadpool reverse time for her. Gambit got too many burgers. Got to, yeah. Flame on, bitches. Albert, not a retro for 5 Canadian pesos. Balls would have been bringing back Angel Dust. Yeah, but bringing back Gina. That's right. But Ryan is a punk and too busy simping and trying to get Satan's daughter to play Dazzler. Well, that didn't have that could happen in Secret War. But yeah,
talking about me. I was like, what?
Yeah, it's all your fault. No, Gina Carano did not get a cameo. No Angel Dust. The one guy for $10. Hail FNT. What is the one story comic book that should absolutely be made into a movie? How much would it cost if it was kept sane? I am not in a position to want any of the things I love made into a movie right now. Like anything. I don't even want to give them ideas.
Right. Yeah, but that's kind of I'm at a place where I would just like think about this. Think about, regardless of what you think, and I've talked about this before, regardless if what you think about Endgame, imagine if the MCU stopped at Endgame and then next year we're getting a return film of the MCU, whatever the fuck that is. Think about the anticipation involved with that. Look how much they have destroyed everything MCU because they've just shit out a bunch of stuff. As a fan, everybody knows I'm a G.I. Joe fan. I've had 3 G.I. Joe movies. We're 0 for 3, okay? And the last one was fucking horrendous.
Yeah.
I just leave it alone. We've got a great comic run going right now with the Joe universe and the Transformers. Let's just leave it the fuck alone. Let Hollywood leave their hands off of it.
Yeah.
You build a franchise with foundation first. You have to have the smaller movies that are just big hits like Iron Man and whatever, right? To start with, that are just single character movies and aren't that complicated. And then you build up to the bigger stuff. DC, of course, learned the hard way that you can't do that in reverse. You can't start out with the big team up and then try and spin off into individual characters. Marvel unlearned from their own mistake, from DC's mistakes, right? They're actually trying to do it in reverse. I feel like it's going to have to be dormant for a while, and then several years down the road, someone's just going to make a one-off Marvel character movie, Daredevil,
Yeah,
whatever
Cap or something. Yeah.
something like that, and then they can kind of build off that. It'll probably be over a decade from now, though, because
Yes, and
you
they
have to
because they
let
have
this rest.
So
you have to let the cancer. You have to get the cancer out of these studios. The social justice propaganda.
God, he's gonna put a cancer in the butthole.
If we lived in a different timeline where things were good, a fantasy series, Elric. I'd love to see Elric.
Well, they were pitching that. You knew that, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I reported that in a video once.
I remember.
They were pitching it. It was an actual production team that had done previous stuff that was pretty good. They had the complete say-so of Michael Moorcock. They were ready to go, and Amazon rejected it on the basis that it was too similar to The Witcher.
Yep. the same Amazon that rejected Conan for being too misogynist.
I'm replacing it with Wheel of Time
and replacing
it
it
even more feminist than the actual books are. Wild.
And then what comes out? Hour of the Dragon, which is just Elric, the TV series.
Pretty much. I mean, like Matt Smith as Damon. I mean, is Elric. Totally.
100%.
Yeah, he'd be a good Elric, actually. Zodlander for $10. I got back from watching Deadpool 3. I loved it, but it won't save the MCU on its own. Rings of Power can fuck off for all they did to season 1 reboot, or leave it alone. Disney can eat shit for what they've done to Indiana Willow. Sorry, Disparu. I didn't mean to bring up Willow. I know
Still deserves a season 2.
So
I will be campaigning and the Acolytes. Apparently, the fan campaign for the
and
Acolyte
She-Hulk
right now.
She-Hulk, yeah. Star Wars. What was that?
Nothing.
Okay. Yeah. Star Wars, Marvel, and Doctor Who. TJ Jordan for $2. Where others shout, save Hollywood, I say no.
Let it burn.
I whisper no.
Albert Nada Retro for 5 Canadian pesos. The problem with Fall Guy is they gender swapped Colt Seavers by casting Ryan Scrotless Gosling. Wow. Holy shit.
I like Ryan Gosling. He's kind of
stand up your mom on a date. Like,
goodness, man.
Jeez. C Black for $4.99. Go younger for X-Men. Daniel Radcliffe or Taron Egerton would be next Wolverine. Not Daniel Radcliffe. No, fuck no. He's got no chin.
No,
he's got no chin.
Maybe Taron. Maybe.
Yeah, I like Taron, but no. I think
but no.
Henry Cavill looked like a pretty fucking good Wolverine.
I agree.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Riesa for 15. Myers. I don't know what they are. Hale. Recommend for all an R18 anime, The Fable. A hitman is ordered to lay low after killing too much on one condition: no more killing. Hilarity ensues. There you go. Gerald Armstrong on the Streamlabs side for $5. LeBron James was the flag bearer. I got to say that was the flag bearer for the Olympic opening ceremonies tonight. Make that make sense.
Yeah, just much like the WWE ran the "Get the F Out" campaign, just take the L out, and that's all you need. That's the type of bearer he was. Fuck LeBron James.
Like, this is his 4th Olympics. Like, if you just look at it from like an athletic standpoint, okay, but this is a dude who fucking kneeled during the national fucking anthem, right?
Yep.
A dude who is kneeling for the national anthem, talking about how fucking America's racist, all this bullshit. Yet you have him carry the flag. That's
he also was Jesse Smollett before Jesse Smollett made up a fake hate crime that they the media mass reported immediately, and then as soon as they started to realize this is probably fake, we should just stop talking about this. LeBron James is a terrible person.
Well, you don't need a real offense anymore. Ask the Washington Redskins, right? No one was complaining who was actually Native American.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how it is.
Yep.
Now there's a huge campaign to bring the name back. So.
Right. Of course, once Colin Kaepernick took a knee, the Redskins were going to take a wounded one.
Grunt812 has gifted 1 Nerdrotic membership for $5, and Jesus Davila has gifted 1 Nerdrotic membership for $5, and that is it on the YouTube side, ladies and gents. We're gonna head over to Rumble.
Why don't we have Raz0rfist plug his stuff before we head over?
Yes. Yes.
Hey.
I was gonna get there, man. Come on.
Oh no!
Heaven forbid. I think you might make.
Hey, I forgot. I was enjoying taking the piss out of modern movies. Yeah, the color edition mass market is finally available for order. I think there's probably a link or whatever, but the black and white version is already on Amazon. It's at Barnes and Noble. It's at Walmart, for Christ's sake. You can get it anywhere. So that's if you missed the Indiegogo, but the Indiegogo orders are shipping out to everyone. Oh, and I should specify it's a different version. So like this is the Indiegogo version. It's got a totally different cover. It's larger. It has extra stuff in it. It's got like a script and sketch. Actually, some artwork by me and stuff in here, and a short story as well in there that you guys unlocked on Indiegogo. But yeah, there's a black and white version, which is kind of my preferred one, honestly. And then there's now the color version, but it looks great in color because George Alexopoulos, the artist, if you've seen his political cartoons, you know he like paints with his color. He's
G Prime.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
yep.
he's great.
G Prime, he's fantastic.
Love
You've
George.
seen his political cartoons, even if you don't know it, because Alex Jones keeps stealing them and cutting his watermark out of it.
Really?
But yeah, highly it's just an old
Just
school.
don't cut the watermark out. That's
Yeah.
Right.
Give him the man
It's
credit.
An old school, like Pale Rider kind of Western, right? Spooky sort of thing.
Link in the description.
Link in the description. Hell yeah. So thanks everyone on YouTube's and yeah, we spoiled the shit out of it. That's what we do. So you might want to wait till Monday to watch it. Right. Thanks everyone for being here. Thanks to the Modrotics. Thanks to everyone who left super chat donation. And we got a bonus hour on Rumble starting right now. Are you ready,
Bye,
Garrett?
everybody.
Now.
Bye-bye.
Now.
Bye.
Now.